What's up, everybody? This is NFL Network's Adam Ray.
This is Only Fruit.
This is Matt Waldman.
This is Chris Zork from your Chicago Bears.
I'm Deion Miller.
Dan Weaver.
Hey, my name's Rashad Whitfield.
I'm Courtney Cronin.
Hey, this is David Kaplan. Listen to me. You want to learn football? Listen to my guys, Phil and Shane.
Shane and Phil.
Shane and
Phil.
Oh, Phil.
On the Tape Never Lies Network.
On the Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
I'm not smart.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
Because I got fired up. Certain people called me. I saw Greg Gabriel's tweet and I completely disagree with Greg Gabriel. I'm never going to hide from where the people that I've spoken to, that I believe in, all say this guy's a must sign. Like, you want to improve the Bears? This is what you got to do. And I think Ryan Poles went out there and signed him originally.
We have a guy that we've had on this show that's a former offensive lineman. Phil, tell him the quote.
He said, quote, these people, I don't even know if he said people, act like left tackles grow on trees. Are you kidding me? This is your left tackle.
Brandon Thorne, the offensive line guru, number one offensive tackle available, above average starter, and he had one of them ranked in that category. One. And it was Orlando Brown Jr.
Well, I appreciate it. No, I mean, with the GMs, I obviously was just trying to pressure them into making a trade for the number one pick. That's all I was doing. I mean, I wanted to hear the GM for the Panthers or the GM for the Colts, Scott Fitterer and Chris Ballard, admit that they want to trade up. Yeah, and when it came to the players, I mean, for me, my strategy basically was just to stay in my lane. I'm not going to ask them as much about their technique. You guys are breaking down the X's and O's. Do I understand the X's and O's? No. There's other guys on our team. That's their role. My role is more just, Bears-centric, fandom. So when I go to this combine and I'm interviewing these players, could I have asked them, because there were some people pushing back on Twitter, like, why don't you ask them about them? Yeah, there's other people doing that. So I'll let them do that. And for me, I just thought, let's hear what they have to say about Justin Fields. Let's hear what they have to say about the Chicago Bears. Let's hear what they have to say about, how they're going to, make Justin Fields take the next step. Those are the kind of things that I thought I would take an approach with, and just trying to get an interesting response. Not everybody's going to give that to you. They were pretty simple questions. This isn't rocket science, and that was the other thing I was thinking when I was asking these questions. There's some reporters and guys that are asking questions trying to show off how smart they are. I'm not going to do that. I'm not smart. I still don't know shit, but the combine did help.
Right, but you and
when we did our Senior Bowl show, I'd never been more stressed out in my life. I'm like, I don't know one freaking dude.
None of these guys are from Purdue. I don't know anybody.
Literally, or Notre Dame.
Phil likes Charlie Jones, so I'm not going to root for him.
No, I like Charlie Jones.
No, actually, that's a guy
Charlie Jones will be a better NFL receiver than JSN. Put it in your fucking bank.
Oh my God, he's banging the drum on this.
I'm dead ass serious.
But anyways, yeah, so he's got his connections, and he's reporting that he thinks a trade is consummated by the Chicago Bears by the end of the week. And he was reporting that Ryan Poles 100%. This week, yeah.
Okay.
Saying that Ryan Poles wants it in place before free agency opens.
Right.
So
not hard
you
to
and I
read
had
that
conversations
feeling.
about, what we want, and you and I talked about it. And I know Cars and myself on Cars Keys back in November talked about, to me, and they're the betting favorites, man. I mean, Carolina just keeps on. They went from plus 500 to plus 150, and today they're at plus 125.
Right.
To be drafted number one
First people.
overall.
It's
Right.
it's the fan math. You
Right.
see what Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow did together,
Yeah.
and that
Right.
chemistry.
But
And you're
Chase is
equating that the
what,
same
fourth?
thing will happen for those two. So
He ain't Jamar Chase. He ain't Jamar
Exactly.
Chase.
He isn't even in that bracket. I
right,
don't
but
even
most
know
fans
where-
don't have the tape acumen you guys do. So, like for me as the caveman fan, it's simple, right? Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. Look how well that worked out. Bears need a wide receiver. If they can't get one through a trade, obviously not get one in free agency. You got to get that wide receiver. Maybe you're reaching for JSN at 9, but at the same time, look how expensive good wide receivers cost, right?
Yeah.
So now you get a wide receivers like quarterback, get them on a 5-year deal where you get them on a rookie contract. You don't have to pay them. That's the calculus as someone like me who's going to be excited if they draft JSN at 9. You guys are sitting there looking at the tape going, he's not worth it at that spot. And I understand that and I respect that. But then, for those you two that say he's not there, there's a lot of people saying he's driving up the board. I watched a clip of Steve Smith talking up JSN. I got a lot of respect. Steve Smith don't blow smoke. Steve Smith, I've watched a clip of him talking shit to Carolina Panthers wide receivers on the practice field. So he's not afraid. He's not going to kiss your ass. And he has a 2-minute clip talking about how good JSN is.
Unless that dragon was fucking a goat.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Chicago's trading up.
100.
Yes! What? Here it is! Just recorded.
The tape never lies.
Other people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
You'll never know how good your football team's going to be until you play with maximum effort. Keeping it 100.
Open competition. Take over the North and never give it back.
Smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man and Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east to west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, move forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now them out stumped like the two and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added the barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane. What we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the armchair. The tape never lies. The truth, you see, we laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Trip Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keep it 100. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Justin Fields gets outside the pocket, puts that ball perfectly where only Mooney can get it. 1 point, 2 feet.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Birds never lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Barber, and this is TTNL's Keeping It 100, the best Bears show on the planet, bar none. Wow, what a fucking week. I mean, besides losing Monty to the Lions, I don't think we could have had a better week with Coles pulling off one of the biggest and what might go down as the best trades in Bears history. Unreal. Getting my boy DJ Moore and making some huge pickups at huge positions. So, you know what? Let's bring on the boys to talk about all of this. Oh, yeah. And Aaron Rodgers might be out of our division. That's a plus. There they are. Shane, the smartest man, Marsaw, and Draft Dr. Phil. What is up, boys?
Gotta be Claude's mic, right? Because he gave it the super pause tonight.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's this music, man. The music when it's got to be played early.
But Ivan did it. Cherie did it. They were right on it.
It could be
And
my
we
mic.
put the music on.
I know. What are you gonna do? But
I think you got to invest in a laptop, Claudio, and give me the old one back.
I don't know about that. But how about listen? How are you feeling, Phil? How are you feeling right now? Are you doing all right?
I think we can get the elephant out of the room because I think we just leave this the fuck off the screen. Just let me speak on how important the running back position isn't apparently in the NFL. Even though it really is. I'll bring Shane back.
Of course.
I honestly, I'm not going to say I wasn't disappointed. I was very disappointed in the deal, what went down, how it went. David Montgomery means a lot to me on tape. That's how, since Iowa State, and we'll turn the page on this, but I will say, it's going to be, it's tough for me because I appreciated his game. I appreciated his effort, and it was like snatching a piece of my soul out of me because now you're starting to, recognize some of the big warts have been on the offensive line, and you're building something with Justin Fields, and it just doesn't feel right without Monty, who put in all this work and effort. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and it's unfortunate, and it's disappointing for me because I truly love the character of the man. I truly love what he does for this football team. And at the end of the day, a lot of people are with me standing in there. I'm not as quick as Shane to throw it out with certain players I love. Other player, I'm 100% like, oh, well, but this guy created a special place in my heart as a back, as a coach, and just seeing how he opened up and was transparent about mental health issues and how he stood for the fans. And at some points, it looked like he was the only one trying. And that's my truth. And I respect the hell out of David Montgomery. I'm not going to be MFing him, except when the Bears play the Detroit Lions. It's tough, On this show, we don't portray to hide anything or manipulate or flip-flop. It's a big loss. But just like in anything in football, and Shane said this, my father said it, and I've lived it before. At some point, they're gonna draft another person, and hopefully they can carry that same torch. Ivan said it pre-show. If there was a guy that matches what it is Detroit is trying to build, it's David Montgomery. And I think that tears even more in my heart when Ivan said it, because that's what I want the Chicago Bears to be building. Now, maybe they're in their infancy, but I also could say the Chicago Bears should be in win now mode, because every year, last to first happens. And I think it's prime time, just like Claudio talked about Aaron Rodgers leaving the division and the Bears making this huge trade and believing in Justin Fields. But at the end of the day, Shane called the business stuff and the running back then. I think the Bears should have matched it, but in reaching out to David, I tried to get if the Bears were involved out of him. He kind of skipped over that. But the reality is we won't know unless somehow it comes out that, listen, the Bears may have not even reached out to him. And trying to explain that to your 9-year-old son who loves this guy, I remember, imagine if free agency occurred with me back with Walter Payton, and all of a sudden Walter's wearing a Arizona Cardinals jersey. I think I would be devastated. So it's tough, but it is what it is, and we'll obviously be watching it. I think I appreciate this network and the guys to allow me to truthfully, and everybody I think that knows this network, and a shout out to Adam Rank for shouting me out on the NFL Network, knowing that I'd be hurt by this because it's the truth. It bothered me. I saw the news last night and I just put my phone down because I knew it was just going to blow up and I needed to process it. And that's where I am. And it is what it is, guys. I don't know if I'm hoping that we find someone that is going to, I'm laughing because I already see something's loaded up as a joke. So
DDP, I'm sorry for your loss.
But I'm not.
Oh boy. See, that's why we're wearing black. Me and Shane.
That was rude, Cars.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
All right, is this funeral over?
Yeah, time to move on.
Well, I have one other thing because
you
come home, and I guess this is the network that probably the only one. I'll bet everything we're the only one that can honestly be transparent in rooting for these guys and caring so much and have it affect our lives and our family. But for me to come home, because I didn't tell Tate. Obviously, it was late last night, and then this morning I left for work early, and Steph's like, Phil, he woke up. He was so happy. I did not want to tell him about David Montgomery. And so we told him tonight, and he took like it was like 20 minutes in the restaurant, laying on his mom's lap with his head and his hoodie covering himself and crying. And then when he pops up, he's all angry at David Montgomery. So it became a life lesson of sorts. And obviously we got a lot to get into, but I wanted to play this clip that my wife made. It's a little longer than I thought it would be. Is that all right? Of my son, who, this is a true story. He went to school yesterday and wrote this whole thing for his school. He wanted to do it on his own in regards to scouting or whatever he has. So we have this message to send to Ivan, Claudio, and Shane.
Hey Shane, Ivan, and Claudio. I want to read a summary that I wrote at school yesterday, March 14th, 2023. Here we go. About Zach Evans. Because I want him to be our new running back on the Bears. My first reason why the Bears should draft Zach Evans is because David Montgomery might be leaving, which he is, because his free agency numbers are over for the Bears, and they didn't re-sign him yet. My second reason why the Bears should draft Zach Evans is because he has speed, he has an arm, and he is a great catcher. And I heard no teams talking about drafting him yet. Plus, he's like mini Derrick Henry. No coaches will think about getting him because he's number 7 rating, but he should be number 1. Yeah. My last reason why you should draft Zach Evans is because everybody is saying how awesome he is and how he can be an NFL star running back someday. And will the Bears draft future NFL star running back Zach Evans? So please, for the Bears, Ryan, for Matt, for the playoffs, for the Super Bowl, draft this kid. For everybody, please. And there you go.
And how did you know about Zach?
Because I searched up good running backs for the draft this season, and I saw a video of people saying you could draft Zach Evans, and then I saw his clip, and it was so good. I searched him up. I see his highlights. He's like mini Derrick Henry. So, peace.
Yes. Tate's like that dude that dated a girl for 2 years and then she dumps him and then a 10 walks by and he's like, I love you.
Exactly. Trust me, on the ride home, we had to be, don't be rude. Because he was like, you know what? David Montgomery sucks now. He's terrible. The greatest line is when we hit the corner to go on our street. And he said, fine. I go, don't be rude. You know, Dave and I was teaching him the business side. And I go, don't be rude. He's like, fine. Only time I won't cheer for him is only time I'll cheer for him is when he plays the Packers.
Nice. That's a great answer.
So there you go. There you go. And I appreciate all the fans that reached out worrying about Tate, but you
not all of them, bro. My fucking phone blew up for 45 minutes. I still haven't checked all the text messages and DMs and have you checked on Phil? Did you hear? David Montgomery went to the Lions. I'm like, oh, really? No shit. I had no fucking clue. Just trying to keep you updated.
Shane, Zach Evans, Tate throwing his hat on the network for Zach.
How great will that be if the Bears draft him?
Oh, man.
Dude, there might be another Riley and Shane moment. I might have to have him on during the draft. He's all into it now.
Yep.
He's
Should have asked him what round he wants to get him in. I mean, if he says first round, I'm gonna
He said third, second, third.
Well, he's grounded then, but it's all right. We'll teach him. We'll teach him.
He's like, we have to get somebody to protect Justin first, or someone who's sack.
Yeah.
At least you're paying attention.
Well, these guys are protecting Justin, but just in a different way. This is at the Chicago Bulls game live right now. You might recognize these guys. There's Justin Fields sitting next to Chase Claypool, and right behind them is a certain Mr. DJ Moore at the Bulls game. So they're building up that.
Jim Larison there too on the right.
No, I don't think. I don't think so. But yeah. But
DJ Moore.
Yes.
Starting to build that camaraderie. I'm sure probably, well, maybe everybody doesn't know, but DJ Moore will be jersey number 2 this year. Cairo Santos switched jersey numbers from number 2 to number 8, and DJ Moore took his number 2. So hopefully that number 1 to number 2
that'll be the first wide receiver, I think, that wore number 2 in my memory. I know there was one in preseason.
I'm
never seasonally.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the old jersey number 2.
Is that Mooney there too? Darnell Mooney?
No, you mean
No,
to the
not
right?
there.
Yeah, to sitting to the right of DJ Moore. I think so.
I
About
need
the same
to-
size. Right there. Yeah, I think that is Mooney. Is that Bryce Young? No, it's not. That's not Mooney.
Oh, huge news for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, you guys
You got a
have-
comment. What did you think of Maisie reaching out to DDP like that? Maisie Karstensen.
I appreciated her help. Her father, fuck that guy. Right, Claudio?
Listen, he just keeps it 100, bro. You know, listen.
Don't let Claudio fool you. When I showed him pre-show, he was laughing for a solid 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Hey, listen, I know a lot of people are trying to paint me into a corner saying that I'm disrespecting Monty and all this. It's not that. I look at it from he's a very good running back, an even better person, hard worker. I understand it, but the NFL is a brutal business that way. It happens. Every single team has players that are hard workers that don't get second deals from teams, and I'm happy that he got paid. Yeah. You know, he can take care of his family. He's a new father. He's got a nephew that can probably have some financial security in his life now that's been battling some health issues. So you love to see that. But if you look around the NFL, way more teams than not don't believe in investing any type of dollars, you know, above 4 or 5 million into a running back on any type of long-term or semi-long-term contract. I mean,
chill with this. He's definitely not a trader. Like he's saying, like Shane said, it's a business. He's not a trader. I mean, like, we don't know. Bears might not have wanted him, so he's not being.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
you know
T. Heron would turn down $12 million from the Packers if they offered it to him right now. I'm sure he wouldn't leave his current job. But
that's what I had to explain to my son. Is like, if Daddy got offered the Packers head coaching job.
Yeah, I'm not leaving for Locked On Packers to take over for Bukowski anytime, but yeah.
No, I would move you into a GM role.
Yeah, imagine trade all the good players to Chicago, and then I'd go over and take the Chicago. No, but it's a business, man. Listen, we put it this way: if David Montgomery was the same exact David Montgomery, and he was drafted by the Green Bay Packers in 2019, we wouldn't have the same feelings about him. It's just what it is. He's a Chicago Bear. He grew up with us, and it's fine. He didn't get paid here. You guys have heard me 100 times. You've heard Cars 100 times. You can see it. The Kansas City Chiefs invested a first-round draft pick in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And who was leading them in the Super Bowl? Yes, I understand they have Patrick Mahomes, but Isaac Pacheco was a 7th rounder. He's got no future there in Kansas City. There's so much turnover at that position, and you can find guys anywhere. We found David Montgomery in the 3rd round. We found Jordan Howard in the 5th round. Tariq Cohen was a flash in the pan. They found him in the 4th round. Matt Forte, 2nd round. Thomas Jones was a high-end pick, but that was way back, in the year 2000. That was a different era. Teams aren't in the business of investing top dollar. Do you think that the Dallas Cowboys regret the Ezekiel Elliott trade? He got drafted in 2016, and he's made over $70 million in his career. The next closest running back to him is Christian McCaffrey, who's made 45.
For me, I had picked him as the number 1 back in that draft. Obviously, Josh Jacobs was the rushing leader and the hot commodity now. But so much of this, and Jackal, start doing chapters, please. Getting a lot of complaints that you've done nothing in regards to putting those, what are they called? Chapters?
Timestamps.
Timestamps.
What are they called?
Timestamps.
This guy fucking does.
Timestamps, bro.
There's no soccer now, Jackal. People want timestamps back. Get after Jackal. Don't DM me at 3 a.m. I have no idea why he's not doing shit.
Yeah, let me address dumbass Rico here with his gray ass fucking beard and dumbass football takes. You come into our chat, Rico, like a dumbass.
How poor Rico.
Because he's a dumbass. He doing all. I'm being a fucking homer. All this shit.
What's a homer?
I'm not shaming the fucking move at all, dude. I'm just saying it's a fucking goddamn business. It's a business. The NFL, that's the way that it works. Rico's got all the fucking answers.
He's saying Homer as the running back that we just signed. Is that what he's talking about?
I'm just saying,
I don't know what he's talking
a special teamer. I'm just saying.
You're being a homer by saying he sucked.
I don't know.
I didn't hear you say David Montgomery sucked.
Yeah.
I've never said Rico's got it all figured out. He's up in the YouTube comments running his fucking mouth. That's fine.
Are you talking about Homer, the running back that we call?
Start your own podcast. It's crazy.
I think he's talking about the running back Homer.
I understand. I'm just saying. Rico knows what he does. He's one of those guys that's sitting in his trailer, pissed off. He's like Uncle Rico. I could throw it over the fucking mountain.
David
Remember
Montgomery.
that state playoff game back in '82? I used to fuck all the cheerleaders, and I could throw it over a fucking mountain. Now I live in this fucking trailer.
David Montgomery was a great running back. Unfortunately, he was on a shitty franchise with Matt Nagy. We know the story. So now he can go write his next chapter with the Lions and a coach that seems to, loves to bite ankle or whatever, kneecaps off and run the ball. And we'll see what David Montgomery's story is. But the reality is when he is coming out, I pegged him as the number one back, and on tape, he was competing against his own team and the opponent, and that's what made him great to me. Made him great. Man, I'll live on that hill. We'll see what he does and what have you. I'd wish him nothing but the best unless he's playing the Bears, but once they leave, I cheer for the jersey 100%. 100%.
I heard plenty of fans get pissed off at Julius Peppers when he signed with the Green Bay Packers. Just like it's a business for teams, it's a business for these players. Just the way that it is. DJ Moore signed a long-term contract extension in Carolina. Probably didn't expect to get traded. It happened. It's a business. NFL, what do they say? It stands for not for long. And that includes players, that includes coaches, it includes GMs. The only thing you can't change every other year is ownership. It doesn't work that way. It's hard. Listen, I don't think that this is a catastrophic event for the Chicago Bears. I don't think that this is a transaction that's we're going to be looking back and saying, Jesus Christ, if we only had David Montgomery. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way about the position. I understand the heart, and you can call him the identity. But if David Montgomery is the identity of our football team moving forward, then it's a fucking problem. Justin Fields,
it's time for the identity.
Right, but I'm saying it's time for Justin. Totally it's time for Justin Fields to have that moniker, for him to be the identity. It's time.
I totally agree. But again, this guy had a special place. And I know you process things differently than I do. I'm more as fired up and fuck a cap, and I will kill people when it comes to doing football things. There is an emotional bond that goes along with it for some fans. You can cut it right at, so could Cars is probably the most evil He's Mr. Burns in the corner. Like,
no, I just think that we look at it. I think you look at it more from a coach's perspective, and we're looking at it from it doesn't make much sense moving forward when I can go out. Phil, these guys get fucking recycled all the fucking time.
Right.
I mean, all the time.
I think it's hard to find a guy like that.
I mean,
I don't
a lot
like
of free agents out there for us to pick
polls
up.
came
But
out.
we went through this.
If he didn't go after him,
it's
that's
fine.
Kind of
Players come out.
I don't know though.
Players come out and praise the fans, and you know what Demo's going to say when he's in Detroit? He's going to thank Chicago, and he's going to say, but every time I came to Detroit, they had some of the best fans, even though they were. It's fine. It's just what it is, man.
Exactly.
It's
I
running
agree.
backs. Say what you want. Running back is a recyclable position. It is. The Minnesota Vikings are probably going to move off of Dalvin Cook.
I heard Pac-Man Jones talking about it today on McAfee show. Jackal's probably doing fucking timestamps for that fucking show instead of this one. This guy. Timestamp MIA. 3 months running.
Oh, Logan. How have you liked the offseason so far? Sandborner?
It says Logan has a sand boner.
He's got his boner buried in the fucking sand now.
The only thing I'll say in regards to you and cars and recyclable, I always go back to the measure of character on tape, and I loved Jordan Howard for that same reason.
And
I go back. You had
didn't do anything for us when he left. What did he do when he left Chicago? Nothing. He had an 8 touchdown season in Philly.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Monty so superior to Jordan as a person, as a leader, as a motivator of the offense when there's nothing. So what that value is to Ryan Poles and Coach Eberflus, that's that. I mean, it's the chapter's over. But I'm just speaking in my truth. When I watched the tape of that kid run, I had not seen that kind of effort since Walter Payton. That was my comp. I didn't say he was Walter Payton. I
could put Thomas Jones' effort up there against Demos. I'm just saying I think we fall in love with that aspect of it. And I understand you have to have lunch pail players. I said this to Ivan. You know what teams overrate try-hard players? Bad teams. You have to have more than that. You have to have lunch pail players. It's fine. I just don't. Well, this isn't a talent issue.
I don't think bad teams overrate them. I think great coaches recognize, and it's been proven. Look at Julian Edelman. Look at Wes Welker. These guys weren't even.
So, do you think that this move is going to hold the Chicago Bears back?
No.
Then that's
I just wanted to be recognized.
It's just but no, Phil. Nobody is disparaging his talent. Nobody is. This isn't a look at the tape and he doesn't have it. He's an excellent running back. That's fine. It's just why am I giving a guy $18 million over 3 years when I can go pick up a kid very likely in the 4th or 5th round that's going to be extremely serviceable and maybe even more explosive?
That's what we're going to find out.
And it's been proven time and time and time again.
Well, I'm waiting, and I will be waiting. There's things I love so far with this offseason, and there's things that I don't. And I'm concerned about. But that's really we're only at the beginning.
Exactly. And Olin Kreutz was talking about this with Big Cat and Jason McKee on their No Name podcast, and I understand it. He started off by saying he's like, Big Cat said Poles isn't building it the right way because he's building it from the back forward. I'm like, we're in day 3 of free agent. We're not building our team through free agency. First off, And then Olin chimed in. He's like, well, look at we had Urlacher, we had Briggs. What Lovey do when Lovey got here? We drafted Tommy Harris. We drafted Tank Johnson. Well, yes, we did. I understand that. We drafted them.
Yeah,
You gotta
because you had Urlacher and
Briggs.
Or Briggs.
Briggs was in what 2003 draft, I believe.
That's when Lovey was there, but Urlacher was under Geron.
Yeah,
Geron.
right.
So you already had that back end piece.
And when Dick Geron got fired, Brian Urlacher said, "I don't want to play for another coach." He said that about Dick Geron.
Yeah,
and then of course he said, and this isn't it's going to take time. Go back. We should re-air the introductory presser for Ryan Poles. He came out and he said, "What are we going to do? We're going to bring in tall, fast, explosive athletes. We're going to be extremely selective in free agency, and we're going to build through the draft." Everybody loves the glitz and glamour of free agency. You want some homework? Do this. For the past 5 years, so it's 2023, go back to 2017 or 2018 and bring up the top 100 list for the top 100 available free agents and tell me how fucking great it is. Tell me who the first 15 are on each list and tell me how fucking great it is. It's more than not, none of these guys work out long term. The correct approach is to look at a guy like Tremaine Edmonds that's 24 years old that can be here for a long time, that still has upside. That's like when there was rumors out there today about Darius Slay. I can't undersell the leadership aspect of it. I'm trying to think in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe they're looking at it like this is the Malcolm Jenkins when they brought him to Philly to kind of settle down the young DBs and to give you a leader in the secondary. But I'm like, man, he's 32 years old.
I said it to you. That's what
we're not there
the
yet.
Most immature DBs. You got Brisker tweeting at Daniel Jones. Yeah, I think they do need somebody that's a dog over Eddie Jackson. Because Eddie's that dad who's cool as shit, just sitting there, probably rolling a blunt. Yeah, kids, go ahead. Kick that soccer ball like Jackal's kid. Go ahead, do that.
He's got there's plenty of guys in the draft that you can bring in. Go check out Homer and tell me what his pass pro looks like that they just brought in. It's one of the reasons that he's here.
Well, I was going to ask you guys. I mean,
he's an excellent pass blocker. He's not going to be a belt.
500 questions. Can Claudio and Ivan star them? Because Jackal's busy.
Yeah, I've been starring some. I want to ask you guys, when we're talking about the runbacks. So obviously, you guys think
if Jackal sucks at time stamping, smash the like button right now. If Jackal sucks at time stamping, smash the like button. There you go. Sorry.
So, no, it's okay. I mean, but there's some free agent running backs obviously out there. Do you think we're going to try to target another one? Or
I thought they were going to once.
I mean, I'll name some off that are available.
Because Miles Sanders signed already.
He's the one guy that interested me just because I was high on him in the draft, but he literally just signed about 15 minutes ago. I was always an Alexander Madison fan. They just brought him back to Minnesota. Yeah, they just brought him back to Minnesota. But listen,
you did love that kid.
This draft is flush with guys. Phil and I have, and listen, if you're a TTNL patron, we're gonna break these guys down. And there is plenty of guys that can pass block, and there's plenty of guys that are explosive. And let's be honest, Khalil Herbert is gonna get a chance here, and he's got a lot of fucking work to do in that area.
Ratcher's just nutted.
Yeah. He just nutted on his bingo card.
No, but wait. So there's a few young Chase Edmonds. He's 26 years old. Free agent.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, there's some young guys. Deontay Foreman.
He's got some other. I was actually
from Texas.
Probably a little bit higher on him when he came out. He came out very young. He came out at 20 years old. Keontae Foreman did. But he's had some other issues that he's.
Yeah.
I'm not on the Kareem Hunt train for Chicago.
Ronald Jones is 25 years old.
I'm sure they'll bring in a veteran player. I'm sure of that. I don't know where it is on their priority list. And I don't know if they reached out to Demo. I know what the polls said, but obviously it's going in a different direction. How do they view this? But to Shane's point, kudos to my son. Evans is an explosive, physical runner out of Ole Miss. That is in the draft. Everyone's talking about Robinson, where he's going to go. If the NFL values running backs the way you're talking, then you're looking maybe at the end of the first, early second. Robinson out of Texas. He'll go push down. He'll get pushed down in the draft based on where it is. So that pushes all the back. Gibbs from Alabama, who Shane and I love. Talk about explosiveness. So how they answer this position, they have to. They can't go into with Khalil Herbert and
no. I think they will, but it's Phil. You've been around this game long enough. You've been around the draft game long enough. It's probably the easiest position to just go out and fill. I mean, there was a point Brock Forsey ran for over 100 yards in a game versus the Arizona Cardinals for the Bears back in the day. I'm not saying that it's sustainable, but there's guys, and there's definitely guys in this draft that you're going to be able to get down in the 4th and even the 5th round this year that are going to make big-time contributions to teams. It's just you see it Isaiah Pacheco was a fucking 7th-round draft pick, almost at the very end of the draft. You think you'd love to have him on your team?
I love the way
there's a lot of guys coming out of this draft. I mean, guys are naming their favorite or their sleepers in the chat or whatever. And I think they're going the draft route with it. I think they'll add another running back, but I think it'll be through the draft. They have, they've accumulated enough draft picks to where you can go ahead, and to Shane's point, you could find a guy that you really love in the back end of the draft that can fill the role and then possibly become an Isaiah Pacheco who ends up taking, becoming the bell cow of your running back room. And I mean, that's no knock to McKinnon. No knock to McKinnon because McKinnon's a different style. I mean, he was succeeding more in the pass game with them. But you can do that in this draft because of the draft capital that you added at the back end. And I just don't think that it's going to – you don't need to go ahead and spend – and you already got Travis Homer. He's going to be, in addition to your running back room and your special teams – but you don't have to go ahead and throw any type of big money or unnecessary money at another running back and free agency. You should go draft a young guy. You could get him on the cheap and move on from there.
I agree. I don't think they're going to have any problem finding a guy that can contribute. Because let's be honest, Khalil Herbert is not perfect, but Khalil Herbert did very well running the football this year, better than I even expected him to do actually running the football. A lot of other things that he needs to work on, and you have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to put in the work and show. Listen, he's never been the lead dog, and right now at this point, he is. So this is probably a little bit of a boost to his confidence. That may change in the draft or whatever happens, but I just don't think it's going to be it's not high on my list of concerns for the Bears at all.
Couple things from the chat. I gotta address. We talked about investing in non-premium position like off the ball linebacker, but then invest the hell in it. I think you're misconstruing what it is. Investing in one off the ball linebacker that didn't make impactful plays was hella stupid, to use your words. So you invest hella in two guys that are going to be difference makers on the back end. And if you're a patron, I'm excited to show you the tape. And we'll do a little teaser later, Shane. I got some. Already cut for this weekend's episode of X's with the O's. I've already cut up all of the tape on Nate Davis, DeMarcus Walker, and Edmonds.
Yeah. And
very careful. And
there is
Ivan's getting Edwards.
You can say a non-premium position, but in Eberflus's system, the will linebacker is a premium position. And Roquan Smith, say whatever you want. The Bears, let me ask the chat right now, because this is exactly what it is. Would you rather have Tremaine Edmonds, Jack Sanborn, TJ Edwards, a second-round draft pick, and a fifth-round draft pick, or would you rather have Roquan Smith and $4 million? Everybody answer in the chat real quick, because that's the trade-off right now. You got a 2 and a 5 for Roquan.
I don't even think it's a choice.
You got TJ Edwards, you got Tremaine Edmonds, and this is including Jack Sanborn's minuscule salary in it also. What would you rather have?
Just clarify where the $4 million. What does that mean?
Because
$4 million more.
All
than
of those
spent?
guys would be making $4 million. Those
Less
guys
than
no. It would be Sanborn, Edwards, and Tremaine Edmonds are making $4 million more in one season than Roquan Smith is alone.
Okay.
Plus, we have a second
clarity.
and a fifth on top of it.
Nice. That's why I asked for clarity. Now everybody
That's when somebody is playing chess and somebody else is playing checkers. That's what
the choice. What would that be? A, choice A, B. All you're doing, I'd rather have Jackal's timestamp. Exactly. Exactly.
Good one. Nice one, Sam. Well played.
The reality of that, it's clear and evident that you got to give
Thomas,
the tip of the hat to
Thomas.
Ryan Poles.
We'd still have Sanborn. I understand it. You wouldn't have the second and the fifth. You wouldn't have Tremaine Edmonds.
Tommy Gage being a stickler on points.
But
we get it, Tom.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Sanborn is not a sticking point.
Dustin,
Either
I can't do this anymore. We're an off season away for the last 2 centuries. It's just not. That's not how we got to do it. If that's what they're doing privately, wherever they are, like I'll give you last year. I'll give it to you. Now you're in it to win it and get in the playoffs.
But I think what he's saying, Phil, is it's going to take
1 year away from being great.
It's going to take more than when Jerry Angelo got here and took over, and then they had to stay with Dick Duran, let him play because they were coming off the 2001 playoff run with Dick Duran. Then they went through 2002, and then they bring in did Lovey get hired in 2003? I think so, right?
So yeah,
or was it 2004? 2003 or 2000? I think it was 2004, wasn't it? Yeah, 2004 in their second year is when they. But it's going to take a couple of drafts, and don't forget Ryan Poles' last draft. He got hired in January. His first draft was running all off of Ryan Pace's grading system. Running off of Ryan Pace's scouts.
That has nothing to do with this. You've been here. You You decided
No,
trade
but
Mac, trade Quinn, trade
And-
Roquan, get
and it was
this
100%,
moved.
and it was
Yes.
100% the right move.
I agree. So we don't. There's no. Let's wait another year.
No,
in
nobody's
football.
waiting, Phil. What he is saying is for them to have another draft under their belt. I think what he's saying is they're another offseason away of them saying, we're not just going to be fighting for the division. We're going to be fighting to kick the fucking door in and win the whole goddamn thing. I don't think realistically you can say that right now. You can say it. I just don't think it's realistic.
I think you go for the division. How?
Oh,
far...
you do. I'm when I say kick the fucking door in, I'm not talking about the NFC North. I'm talking about winning the whole motherfucking thing. You 100% go for the division this year. I'm saying I believe what Dustin is referring to is there another offseason away of competing for the biggest fucking prize.
I think we've done that for centuries. We're another offseason away.
They've never stripped it down the correct way, Phil, like they did it this time. Never one time. They never stripped it down to the fucking boards. It was always, oh, we're gonna bring in a new coach and we're gonna force Lance Briggs and all these fucking old guys on him because it's the Chicago Bears way. All of that, they've never done it the right way.
I agree
on the
with
other end
that.
of what? It's a historical fact.
I don't play we're an off-season away from what? From having to have 5 free agents move off of us?
No, Phil, I just told you. Listen, you can say it to fire up the fucking meatheads. It doesn't mean it's realistic. Do you think that the fucking Bears have a realistic shot at the fucking Super Bowl in 2023?
I do. If they do
then
the
you're
right thing.
Fucking crackhead. I mean, come on, man.
Well, this is what they do here. You're in every game.
You go out there and compete, Phil. It's not fucking
the worst
the way
team,
that this team is fucking.
You're in every game, right? With the worst team I've ever seen.
Stop.
You're looking at it like my whole life. I don't give
a fuck if you've been around. It's not
that. We're
it's
an
not
realistic away for 2 centuries.
And they're building it. They have to hit on the draft picks. They've never.
What if Justin fails? Then how many off seasons away are we again?
If you lose your starting quarterback, how fucking dumb is that? Let's build around a try-hard fucking running back. I mean, what the fuck? It's stupid, dude. You're not making any.
I was asking you a question.
Injuries.
I mean, hold on, Shane.
Well, if you lose your fucking starting quarterback, it's a big deal.
Lost here.
Shane,
I haven't lost, Phil, because you're moving the fucking. You're moving the fucking goalpost to prove a stupid fucking point.
You got 4 picks.
You think that the Bears should be Super Bowl contenders this year? It's unrealistic.
I think that should be
crazy.
I think
drop
that
the fucking smoke weed every day. Smoke crack every day.
Should be the goal every year.
It can be the goal. I want my fucking kid to make millions of fucking dollars. Also, I'm just saying, dude, you have to be fucking realistic.
Fields takes that step, and the Bears go out there and build this the right way. Then they should be in the playoffs.
Well, hold on, Shane.
I don't know what.
That's what I was gonna say.
You're
Do you
talking
think
about.
though?
I'm talking about playoffs, getting to the Super Bowl.
I'm talking about Super Bowl contenders.
I understand, but can we make the playoffs this year, you think?
If things go right and Justin takes a leap and the defense gels, sure.
I think that's what Phil was saying, because if you get in the playoffs, you don't know what can happen. I'm not saying I agree with either one. I'm just saying.
Right.
I think that's what he's saying. We can make
right
the playoffs.
Now, is that
not smart?
I'm talking right now. And then Phil's rebuttal, well, what if you lose your starting quarterback?
No, what if Justin Fields fails? I said it fails, not hurt. He doesn't
injured. What if he gets injured?
No, I didn't say that.
You said fails.
Play it back. I said fails.
Yeah.
Now you're starting over again, and you're going to draft.
That's why you covered your
quarterback.
bases, because you have a guy playing chess, not checkers.
In that mindset,
and hopefully we should draft
another
fucking
2 off seasons.
Draft a fucking running back. 4 of them will be the best fucking team ever.
That's dumb.
It
a
is
running
dumb.
back, yes. You fight
Yes,
with some. What is these points? What is that point?
Phil,
What is
because
that? Draft 4 running backs.
my fucking point is
Drop
when
the smoke weed every day.
when
for shame.
somebody disagrees with you, you move the
I'm
fucking
the same.
goddamn goalpost every time.
Understood
You're
it.
saying that it's crazy
And
that we're not.
Ivan said.
We're Super Bowl content. We should
Smoke
be.
weed every day.
I could fucking coach this team to 18 wins in the fucking regular season, and they only play 17. It's what is so fucking bad about saying that the Bears aren't Super Bowl contenders? They're building right now.
I don't think anybody is saying that. This is the guy's asking me about the offseason. It just began. We're like not even a week in, and people are throwing up the white flags. Dustin Reagan Padilla saying we're another fucking year away. We haven't even started. We don't have a draft. We don't have anything. We've got off the ball linebackers, 4 new guys, and you're saying nope, no chance. We don't even know. It could
I
be
didn't
Orlando
say
Brown
that.
tomorrow,
I said it's
a new
unrealistic
center
to say
the
that
next day, and all of a sudden
you can have the best fucking. The Bears had the best draft in NFL history in 1983. They didn't fucking win it until 1985, Phil.
At this point, but it has a lot to do. It matters because they're still building.
Of course it does.
I think right now
Who the
we're
fuck
very
goes out
happy.
and wins with rookies?
Right. But I think right now we're very happy at what Ryan Poles has done and accomplished, right, so far. But it's going to take a lot more. I could see the Bears competing this year. Like I had mentioned, I said this before. 7 to 9 wins is not out of the realm of possibility.
I just said they
pushing for the
they
playoffs.
could contend for the division. I just don't think it's realistic for me to sit here and say they should be Super Bowl content. They can have the draft of the fucking century.
Wait, hold on. I mean, the Bengals did do this. They went from 4 wins. The next year went to the Super Bowl. So it's not.
And what did they have in place?
Well, they had obviously a
what
quarterback.
year was,
they got a
what year was Joe Burrow in, Claude?
Oh, he was like 3rd, I think, right? 2nd or 3rd.
Exactly. Okay. Yes, and they got
Justin Fields is in year 3. He's got no point, folks. He's got no point.
I don't have.
Dustin,
Phil, I'm just saying you move the fucking goddamn field goal post for the fucking triumvirate of fucking meatheads that believe anything that DDP says. I'm gonna fucking coach him up, and I'm gonna fucking shit in the hat, and I'm gonna
weed every day.
I don't take any personal shots.
I'm just saying, Phil.
This is the
why
reality.
Is it so fucking unrealistic to say that the Bears are an off season away? It's actually a fucking smart
I'm a
approach.
negative Nancy. I don't know. Tony the
I
pod
just don't
boss.
I don't
I'm
see
negative.
where it's. I don't see where it's so fucking unrealistic
Because
to say they're an off
we've
season
been
away.
another off season away for centuries.
And I just fucking told you they've never fucking stripped it down, Phil. It's because they've never fucking looked forward. Ted fucking Phillips is gone. They never fucking figured that out. They never fucking
That's
said.
why I believe that you win now. It doesn't mean
And they're
going
gonna
to dance.
They're
I
not
don't
laying.
live by
They're
that
not
credo.
laying down.
We're
They're not
a
going to
Super
lay
Bowl
down.
caliber team. We just started building this year.
And that's what I just fucking said.
No,
That's
you
what
didn't.
I just said.
You said we're an off season away with Dustin.
Phil,
I'm saying
nobody builds in one fucking year. Nobody.
Claudio just gave you the Bengals. They did the exact
Was
same
Jamar
thing.
Chase and fucking Joe Burrow drafted in the same offseason? No.
You shit in your hat and get the hell.
Jesus.
You got DJ Moore.
It's crazy.
Philly did it, right? Philly did it.
Did what?
They
Built
went
it in
to
a
the
year?
Super Bowl.
Fuck, they did.
They tanked.
No, they
And
tanked
they
after
built
that.
it in a year.
After the Super Bowl, they're against the Patriots. They were
Exactly.
shit for a while. Like they
Stripped it down.
stripped that shit down. So they were shit for a long time.
They won the Super Bowl in 2017.
Right.
So it's not like it's not like it was that fucking long.
I mean,
ago.
it's not that long ago, but
they
it was
drafted Jalen Hurts,
but they rebuilt after
that's
a winner.
long time after a
right.
winner. Like that's
Right.
You weren't expecting that
I
after
guess we're
them winning the
battling
Super Bowl.
on semantics, because I'm not gonna take this Dustin Reagan. Let's wait another season.
He didn't say
What are we
that.
cheering
Nobody. He
for?
never said the way. Phil, if
They're
he
an
came out and said
off-season away.
What's a
They're an off-
successful
what is
season?
an
it?
off-season away of
Out of both of
contending
you.
for a Super Bowl, and I don't think that that's unrealistic to say at all. I don't.
I don't live like that. I can't
What's a
do it.
successful season for you next year, Phil?
Playoffs.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about your record. Playoffs.
Shane?
And then you can decide what we see.
What do I think is an
What would be a
acceptable-
successful season for you next year?
a successful season is contending for the NFC North.
Okay.
I think it's wide open now that
is,
Rodgers
yeah.
is gone.
So then you get into the playoffs.
And of course, anything can happen. I could win the fucking
That's what I'm saying.
Powerball tomorrow. I'm just fucking saying, dude.
That's
is it
all I was
realistic?
saying.
No.
I'm looking at a team that had shit, and they're in games, right? So to get rid of Ted Phillips and bring another guy in here, I just don't live by that moniker. We're an off season away.
That's fine.
Because of Justin Fields, I believe you should be contending for the Super Bowl. That's my truth.
That's fine.
And
I just don't
this
think that
asshole could
it's,
say I'm the dumb. I'm watching the tape. Like, you got shit out there, and you're one score away. Imagine when you
NFL
have some good
NFL's
offensive linemen.
NFL's a 3-point
It's
league,
a
man.
3-point league. It's a 10% league. It's the coach that gets the 10%.
But I
I
think-
don't give a fuck if the guy's undrafted, 32 years old, or 38. You got to
think that-
fucking start
I think
building
the
this
issue is,
right
Phil,
way.
you're
If he's saying sustained success like Ryan Cox, then
Absolutely.
yeah, I can buy onto that.
and that's of course that's what that's what
Sustained.
everybody wants. The Bears have been a fucking flash in the pan team. Go back to 85, dude. They should have won more than one.
Oh yeah.
They had a
They
better
talk
defense
like-
in 84. That's crazy.
I'm just saying
dude.
they could have won it in 84, 85, 86, 87, and 88.
They
But they
should've.
didn't because shit gets in the way and shit gets lost in the 2001. That shit wasn't sustainable. The 2006, that shit was fun, but they were wildly inconsistent because the entire organization was consistent. This makes everything different because they've never fucking stripped it down. Players, the fucking president, the fucking GM is new. Eberflus came in. They've never done it, and we've never had
You're
a fucking
fighting
guy.
my battle for me. I'm on the same page. I'm on
That's
it.
what
I'm
we're on-
tired of that
I just don't
fan
think saying-
mentality is what I was saying.
I don't think it's a negative if somebody says, I feel like we're one more offseason away from being Super Bowl contenders. I don't think that that's a negative. I think it's a healthy way
No,
that's
I
not
don't-
preventing you from going out. That's not preventing you from going out and shocking the fucking world this year.
I guess that's where I am. I don't like to look past the now when I'm coaching football or analyzing.
What was your expectations going into this year? What was your record
Could
prediction?
go back. I don't
9
remember.
wins.
I used to
9.
timestamp that stuff. We could
I had
probably look it up
six-
pretty
I had
quickly.
6 wins going into this year.
I think I had him at 7. I'm just saying
thought
we
we were
all
gonna
we
win
all
9
we
games.
all told Cap he was a fucking idiot, and he picked 4 wins.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
saying.
we still
Go
didn't
out
get
and
4
beat
wins.
San Francisco opening day.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a negative. Giving them listen, they got 2 fucking they have 2 first rounders next year. It's gonna be if you do hit with Justin, and I have every belief that they've hit with their quarterback. It's gonna be huge.
The reality for me has historically been proven, no matter what anybody says. If we're arguing sustained success, and that was what he's talking about, then I understand the nerd looking another year. I'm looking now. You
Everybody's
have had a
looking now.
history of going last place to first place.
They just traded for a
historically.
fucking wide receiver to bring him in to improve the fucking team right now. They just gave a
Exactly.
linebacker $72 million to make the team good right now. Nobody's
That's what I'm
saying
talking
fuck.
about.
We're going to be good when
I'm
Tremaine
talking about
Edmonds is done. No,
his
nobody's
comment.
saying that. No, I was referring to the guy in the
Some
fucking chat that
fans?
says,
Oh.
I agree with Phil. If you look at the future, you're going to miss the present. Nobody here is saying to fucking dismiss the present. Nobody's.
But our
saying
expectations of the present are different. They're varying. Like Shane
Listen.
expect. Like I
Are
understand.
you grading the off season now, Ivan? Are you giving it a
I'm-
grade now?
I'm not giving it a grade now. No,
No,
I said
Because
right now.
tampering
it
take another
just
good
fucking
job.
started.
Right.
It just
absolutely.
started. There's not even a draft yet.
Right, but you still have to understand that this, like, they have to go out there and compete, but this team isn't complete in my eyes, and it's not complete in their eyes as well, I believe. So to expect
it can't be
to
complete
expect them
because
to
you haven't
expect them to
done free
overachieve.
agency.
To expect them to overachieve is
Yeah, we don't know who the whole who we have coming. We don't.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
That was my point here. Do you understand? You're proving it.
But you said
So we
but
kind of
this
went
kid's
from one
talking
place
about
to
another
talking about
offseason,
success. Yeah.
and we just fucking started this one and haven't drafted
he's
yet.
But you had
talking about
Super Bowl expectations.
That's all I
Yes,
was
he's
responding
talking
to.
about, he's talking about for them to contend for the fucking
Big
Super
picture.
Bowl.
Big picture here.
Exactly. And it's
That's all.
I don't
should be
understand
contending
where
for
it's
this.
so fucking crazy. I don't.
understand. I don't understand
Dude,
how you think this is crazy.
Fuck down.
I'm not saying that it's crazy. I
Chris
just fucking
Foster.
said they can contend.
Get on
Yeah.
your phone. Get this
Yeah, I
fucking
just put it.
clown
I'm
on
like,
the
dude,
show,
what the
please.
fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just
We'll
He
learn the
wouldn't stop.
game.
I
I'll
just
teach
fucking
you the
said
fucking
that
game.
if things go right for
No,
the
we
Bears,
can't
they can
comment, though,
contend,
unfortunately.
and I want them to contend for the NFC North this year. I just think I don't think it's a crazy fucking thing to say another fucking offseason. I take them from potentially winning the division to saying we're going to win the whole fucking thing.
Why does Shane hate the Bears? Greg wants to know. That's a good question.
Trying to build them brick by brick. That seems to be the motto of the fucking day.
Bring it to work.
Listen, I think this is semantics. And listen, you don't like the debate? Go to another fucking show. I don't care. I'm just looking at the reality of my truth. I'm tired. I
Chubbs has
believe
it
the
figured out.
Bears
If you win the
should win.
division, you can win the Super Bowl. Everybody knows that. I'm just saying, I'm saying I think it's realistic for them to be legitimate Super Bowl contenders next year.
You can run your mouth on the side. If you are running a franchise or being understood in football, your goal is to get to the playoffs, and then anything can happen. Anything.
Sure.
And that's the reality. We're a year away, and we just went is the dumbest shit ever. I'm sorry. It's the worst fan mentality. It's a written in excuse, and it's a historic happening for the Chicago Bears. And if we're going to throw Super Bowl out there and try to paint me into a fucking corner, then I'm going to say, yes, the expectation is Super Bowl. Is that realistic? It's a fucking offseason. I'm just being a smartass because the offseason just started. Come August, after this draft, and they trade down, they do this, they get this, they make another trade. They got picks next year, whatever it is. They built their football team, and it should be under Justin Fields, a playoff team. That's it. That should be it. Not a year away. No fucking way. You're fucking now. That's it.
Nobody's saying that they can't play good now. Nobody's saying that.
And Poles has set it up for himself, though. Like, if, say, the Bears go out and they rattle off 8-9 wins to start the season and things are going well, they have plenty of draft picks to make a run and go for that Super Bowl run immediately if they're in that position.
That's the entire point.
He's played his whole fucking hand both ways. So it's
he's told everybody,
Yes.
I'm not building this like Ryan Pace did for 2018. I'm not doing that.
I don't know what Richard Long is referring to, Shane. So you can tell him.
Have them
narrative
explain
time.
in the chat.
There's a difference of an opinion. I don't know how that's a narrative.
I don't know how it's a
Yeah,
narrative.
exactly.
but
You got two different
Jesus.
opinions.
Yeah, hey, narrative time.
Yeah.
I think we're actually fighting. I will never. I don't know
I mean,
what
listen,
this backtracking. Nothing. I'm explaining it to you.
I mean, we
The
all
Bears
saw last
just
season.
opened up free agency at 4:00 today. 4 p.m. at 9:45 East. We got people talking about another offseason away. If that's what you're doing, that's wrong. Right now, I got to see what they do in the draft. I've seen this 100 times. Go look back in history. Use your fucking stat, boys. How many teams have gone worst to first? It happens every year. And it was running like 52 years in a row at one point. So I don't know what the stats are now, but the reality is.
We're at. Sorry, Cloud. But we're first. We're first. The division. Are we talking about the league? Are you talking about number one overall in the playoffs?
No, I'm talking about
division.
Your division.
Okay, so you win
guess
the division.
What, Ivan? You win the division you're in.
Right. But then you always give yourself a chance. But even with a chance, right? Did you expect the Bears that season they got in with the Saints, Mitch's last season? Did you expect them 2020?
Oh, you mean the time when that pussy ran out of bounds on fourth down in the playoffs?
Exactly. Did you expect them to go in there and win the Super Bowl? I mean, they gave themselves a chance. Like there's expectations are varying.
Team,
like that's all I'm saying. Like
that team didn't win the division, did it?
But it got in. They gave themselves a chance.
They backed in, and if they had beaten the Packers to get in, then I would have given them a chance. But because they pushed in, none of us believe, me nor Shane. I remember, like, you just didn't believe in that because it was a fucking
if they get
utter
in
chaos.
If they get in at 9 and 9-8, if they get in at 9-8, are your expectations? And if they win the division at 9-8, are your expectations the same?
Super Bowl, absolutely. It depends. I mean, you're giving me a huge number. I want to see how they're performing. There's been 9-8 teams that are coming in hot.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? So this football team obviously is building it. You can say, I could drum up holes in everybody's story here. But in a 3-point league with Justin Fields and you building around him the right way, and you're getting linebackers. I mean, last year, our linebackers sucked. Come on.
Yeah.
Once Bobby Quinn and Roquan were gone, you just saw the fucking leak. It's like somebody saying, okay, let's just duct tape this and pray it doesn't ruin the house. You can't do that. They did what they did. I give them the fucking year where they laid down and tanked. This year, it's Super Bowl. Go for it all. Go win the division, and then that should be it. I mean, you should be playing on all cylinders with this kid, Justin Fields. I believe in it. I believe. And I wish Rodgers was staying in there in the division. But if you're going to paint me in a corner, I'm always going for the Super Bowl. Despite these meatball fans here. It's not being meatball. It's what I'm tired of. Will there always be next year?
Phil,
I can give you 20 more times.
You can have that as an expectation every single fucking season. It's fine.
Everybody does that. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Next year
it doesn't make it realistic. Doesn't make it real. Nobody's saying next year. Nobody's saying that.
Do you believe if they don't make the playoffs, it's a shit year?
I can be disappointed, absolutely. But listen, we just came off of a shit year, and did it lower my expectations for 2023? No, because I knew we had $100 million in cap space. I knew we had the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. The fucking results weren't there last year, but the number 1 and what we maintained all fucking year was if you won 3 games and you knew you had a quarterback, then it was going to be a win overall for the fucking season. They just happened to get the fucking cherry on top of the number 1 overall pick. And thankfully, by having a forward-thinking GM, shuttled out Khalil Mack, traded Robert Quinn, traded Roquan Smith to clear the decks completely. For what? For who? This is all about Justin Fields. And on top of it, he covered his bases just in case by looking a season away. Your GM just look. Did you want it? You said on this airwaves, I need to have that 2024 pick because the quarterback doesn't work out. So you're in Dustin Reagan Padilla land right there by looking to 2024.
No, I'm protecting I'm not looking there. See, don't manipulate the story. I'm doing the business side. I'm not saying that's going to be necessary because he's going to suck.
But you're covering your ass. Exactly. So you're looking to 2024, Phil, because of the quarterbacks that.
No,
so when's Drake May and the kid from USC?
If Justin does what I believe he should do, then guess what? The wide receiver from Ohio State or my boy from the tight end from Georgia.
And what year do they come out? What year do they come out?
Next year.
2024.
They become
right?
that pick, not the quarterback.
Exactly, Phil. But that's my fucking point. You're saying that they're an offseason away from being a Super Bowl contender, he feels like is a bullshit way to look at it. You can't look at it that way. I just
4 minutes or 4 hours into the new season, you shouldn't. Sorry, you're wrong. He's wrong.
I'm not.
That's wrong.
Looking at smart. Smart.
Looking at next year to protect yourself isn't me looking at next year. That's me having a spare tire in the trunk. I'm not looking to get a flat tire when I'm going to work. I'm just protecting my ass. That's smart. I ain't even looking there. I'm looking now. The draft hasn't started. Free agency just started. We might sign Orlando Brown tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna be stoked because now you got a pillar piece. They moved Tevin Jenkins to
it's not a losing. Maybe. No, it's not a. You're implying losing culture is forward thinking. It's whatever.
You protect, but you don't look. That's what I'm saying.
That's why it's smart to have a GM perspective and a coach perspective.
Did you like Ryan Pace? You believed in him at some point. You thought he was smart. He turned out to be a stupid asshole. Right?
Exactly.
That's what happens.
And I was off Jay Cutler, and you supported him for the last 5 years in every fucking turn. You even made fucking.
I love Jay Cutler. I wish if Jay could have fucking been a good person next year with Jay. He's gonna.
It was always next year with Jay. He's gonna figure it out next year.
And then that's what I don't want to do. So I'm trying. That's exactly. You're proving my point. It'll never happen.
Not proving your point.
How can you not love what Poles is doing right now? I mean, if you're a Bears fan, how can you not be excited about how he's building this roster, but also building this team to have, as Ryan Cox put, sustainable success? Like, this is what we were hoping would happen, and he's building it right in front of us and actually said it in the introductory presser. And it just is beautiful to see. Hopefully now you got to hit on those picks and you need to monopolize on that. So, I mean, I think you need to have both mindsets. You both are like inside the mind of a GM and a president.
I literally am saying that they should be contending for the division. And
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
You've defended though a wrong way of thinking. That's the Bears fan mind. We're a year away.
I think that there's
Miss Chloe.
I
now?
think that
you know the future of what's going to happen.
I think that there's a big difference between potentially contending for your division or saying, you know what, I'm going to kick the fucking door in and win the whole motherfucking thing. I think there's a big fucking difference in that.
That's why they play,
especially when you just came off 3 fucking wins and you have many fucking holes
with a known tank. We all said.
What does that have to do with right now?
I'm saying they planned for this moment.
Well, right? It's a good thing. We wouldn't even be in this moment, right? Because we needed that extra win, right?
Exactly.
In Atlanta.
We got to this moment.
We had to run our fucking quarterback tastefully or some fucking nonsense.
Tastefully. Who was the guy who said that?
Cool Kennedy said that.
Tastefully.
tactfully or
Tactfully.
tastefully. I'm just saying it's the difference in contending for a division and a Super Bowl. I don't think it's some catastrophic like holy fuck you're wrong for thinking about it like that. Of course they're gonna go out and
you shit in your hat and get the.
Oh fuck, you can't even speak, guys. You're gonna go out and fucking try to win it all. It doesn't mean that it's fucking realistic.
I think the smartest people will take Michael Williams' understanding of this, because I've played and coached and been around this game of football, and I know I'm right. You don't look at it like that. I think Shane and I are saying the same thing while he's defending something that is indefensible. You can't look like that. We're a year away. Well, just like I said, Justin could fail, and then you're 2 years away. That's not how you got to look at it. You win now, and that should be the mentality.
Right, you can go out and
This
say every
season
single
just
fucking
started
year,
right
we're gonna
now.
we're gonna win the Super Bowl. We're gonna
we should
you're
should
coaching
win the
Green Bay
division.
right now. We're gonna win it with Jordan. We're gonna win the Super Bowl this year with Jordan Love.
Well, I think but I think
it's fine.
when someone
I was
says
talking about playoffs, win.
you're a year away means that you don't have a chance to contend. I think what Phil's saying is we have a chance to contend. Yeah, I agree, Shane. It's probably not going to happen.
Said he didn't.
Probably not going to happen, but it's not like
I think Shane keeps failing in understanding that.
Listen, last year,
He's saying
we
we're-
won 3 games,
go
but
ahead.
we all know 4 or 5 games we probably should have won. We beat ourselves at the end of the games.
Yeah, but it was
so we're
scripted.
not as bad as our record shows. And that's,
And
with
if
these
you
off-season
conveniently traded away,
You don't think that the
pieces-
Bears were as bad as their record was this year?
No, because we had how many games did we lose and kill ourselves at the end of the game?
NFL.
That we
Well,
had
well,
won.
well,
That's because we weren't good. We killed ourselves.
No, but you did.
No,
you
not
did
every
say you traded away Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, and Roquan Smith, and your defense, which I've said many a time, gave you a impossible to analyze
we had-
Justin Fields
We gave up the
truthfully.
most
because you had
points in the league.
the
Most
worst
points against in the
defense
league. Average
ever.
points
Least
per
amount
game.
of sacks, 20 sacks or
But
22
as of right
sacks.
now,
How
right
many-
now,
20
more
sacks.
wins? How many more wins
20 sacks.
do the free agent as of right now? Do the free agents that we have and a new crop of rookies get us right now? I know you can't really go in
I
the
have
future
no
and see
idea.
the draft,
No idea.
but how many more wins? 2, 3,
Well,
5, 6?
no,
like
more.
you can't really go out and say, hey, I'm gonna go and put all the pressure on this team and say you're going to go out win the Super Bowl, and this is the expectation of the fan base, and this should be everybody's expectation, because it's not that realistic. I'm sorry, it's just not. You could have aspirations. You can have aspirations to win a division.
Unfortunately, the point
But
is
to me,
being
it's just not-
misplaced.
I don't know.
Because the time you keep skipping over the time frame in reality is we just started the offseason. There is no first round pick or a trade down and adding 2 first more.
What?
In the first round. So this team isn't even it's in its infancy of what 2023 is going to be. Nobody knew until the trade happened that we were getting DJ Moore. We hoped. But that's where it's just, why are you focusing on 2 years from now when you just opened up free agency?
On that, it's a fucking comment.
I believe this.
If you had 20K, would you put it in the middle of the table and said the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl?
I don't know yet. That's what I'm trying to tell you, because I got to get to August to see what this team is.
All right. If you had 20K and the Bears had what you would consider an amazing draft, would you put 20K
And
down
some
on the
free
Bears to win the
agency
Super Bowl?
signings and
Right. Okay. So I'll lay it
play
out.
the game.
They signed every free agent
Orlando
that you
Brown.
wanted, and they hit on every draft pick on DDP's top board. Would you put 20K on the Bears to win the Super Bowl in August?
Yep. Put it
Man,
on them.
I'd
That's
call
the
you a
dumb.
moron.
That's just the dumbest bet. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put number one. I don't.
You just said
bet.
you would.
I was just joking with you because it's just like a setup. If you got everything you wanted, would you bet on the Bears to win? No. Why? Because they're consistently losing?
But that's the fucking point, Phil. That's where it's
You're
because
betting
why
on them
you
losing.
consider it. Are you considering that unrealistic? And that's been my entire point the entire time.
No,
it's unrealistic. Correct?
It's you're playing a game of trap.
Oh my God, Phil, you're moving the fucking goalposts.
I'm not. You are. You just said all of these things.
I'm asking you to put your money where your fucking mouth is, and I can't do that because they're going to hit on all your guys, but it's a dumb thing. How is it?
If I was coaching the football team,
saying that it's unrealistic,
and got all of the guys that I want, then yes, I would say Super Bowl. But I now have a screwball Getsy. I got who's the defensive coordinator, Williams. So these things, they might take a step and be better than I thought. But there's so many things that go on in the game. I'm just telling you, the game of football, one thing you should always learn is that anything could happen on any given Sunday. It's cliche for a reason.
Chubbs, hold on a second. Let me address Chubbs here real quick.
Oh, shit.
I just fucking said, Chubbs, that I think that it's realistic that they could contend for their division. I'm saying that I think it's overall unrealistic to consider them Super Bowl contenders. I don't think that that's crazy. I just don't.
Vegas agrees. But
I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders yet because we just started the offseason. Why is this so hard?
Because I don't think that they're going to become Super Bowl contenders from April to August. I just don't. I don't think that they have enough. Yeah, I don't think that they have enough.
We'll see. You got you got a first round, you got 2 picks, you got DJ Moore, you got all still months of free agency and tier 2 free agency. How you build this football team. This team should be a playoff team.
No shit, Chubbs. Thanks for the.
And how they go to the Super Bowl is on them at that point. I just said that just to get in this pushback because you paint in a corner. Talk about moving.
Not smart.
Phil,
are they gonna go to the
I'm
Super
not
Bowl?
painting you in a fucking corner, bro. Have you ever
Is
listened
it a
to
successful season if they go to the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
But then
Who the
they got to
fuck is saying that it's
consistently
not?
do it.
Who's saying that it's not?
When you say, as Claudio pointed out pretty excellently, I got to give him credit. When you say they're a year away, you've
Coming on the plane after.
Oh my God, we're talking.
It wasn't me.
When we're saying
scrolling.
they're saying that they're on to next season, you've conceded losing. That's how I term it. That's how I process
I
that.
I don't think when Jimmy Johnson got here in 89, they won 1 game. They're better the next year.
Eberflus came here last year.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts of him as a head coach? Good, or you don't know what he is yet?
Oh, I think that there's a question mark. I think you have to give him an off season with legitimate players that they've earmarked with the cap space that they have available. Last year, they were completely restricted. They didn't have a first-round draft pick. They had extremely limited cap.
PJ Walker,
And I
they
think
just
it's
signed with the Bears.
That's a good backup. That's a great backup, actually.
Oh,
That is
fucking
a
A.
great
Super
that is a
Bowl.
great-
I changed it. Chubb
Change
and Phil
it,
are right.
mother-
We're going to the fucking Super
The
Bowl.
whole narrative.
Super Bowl, Super
Change the whole
Bears.
narrative.
Move the fucking goalpost.
I was waiting.
Title Town. Let's go.
You motherfucker.
He's a good backup. Though. I do like that
That's a-
pickup.
I do like
That's a
PJ
great,
Walker.
great.
Well, you're getting a guy.
pickup.
Yeah, let's move off of this dumb fucking subject that I
Yeah, here.
totally mopped the floor with.
Hold
Phil.
on. We need to sign because Shane's going to sign 17 kickers to win. I'll sign 4 running backs and we'll all be happy again. And
Yes,
Shane
I'm going to
lost
sign
again.
7 kickers. And
I'll make sure they all wear fucking visors. How about that?
that's right.
This
I'm
way
going to
we'll
get
fucking win.
I'm going to get a bunch of try-hard running backs, and we're going to fucking be superheroes.
I love this pickup.
Me too. I am a big fan of that.
And it just says that nobody in their right mind. Wow, we're getting live retweet and like. Nobody, just like I was pointing out to Dustin, you don't know what this season is. Did anybody? Shane, you told me it was just going to be Trevor Siemian. Maybe we draft someone. We got to draft someone. But here,
Well, no,
I didn't see PJ Walker, and that's a huge upgrade to Trevor Siemian.
Yep.
In fact, we were watching DJ Moore tape.
Do they have the number? Is it a 1-year deal?
It hasn't come out yet. Waiting for what's his face to come, Rappaport to come with the details.
Well,
once it comes up, I'll pop it up.
Lose my number, Schefter.
2 years. That was hilarious.
That was funny as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
That was
the only funny thing.
Yeah.
I love the signing.
I was a little bit surprised with Carolina because he was restricted and they didn't tender him, so that's why he became unrestricted. I was a little bit surprised there with them being in the quarterback game, but that must be Josh McCown must not be a fan and Frank Reich. But no, I thought it was critical, Phil. You and I talked about this multiple times for them to bring in a guy that, listen, you're never going to be exactly like Justin Fields, but a guy with similar traits. PJ's got a big fucking arm and he can move.
And he anticipates. He's an underrated. Shane, we broke down the DJ Moore tape for our patrons, and there's tape of PJ in there. Listen, I never will ever look away from a guy that busts his ass and has a dream. He went to the XFL. Josh McCown, who, by the way, I said got to play the hot hand. Shane and I agreed with Cutler. When was that? We would have fucking went to we beat Dallas.
2-year deal.
Probably one of the best days ever. He's got 2 years. One of the best quarterback games I've ever seen was Josh McCown leading the Bears versus the
preseason
Cowboys.
games just got a little bit more exciting. So I'm going to be excited to watch PJ Walker coming in these preseason games. Much more so than I was with Trevor Siemian.
I'm with you 100%.
2-year deal.
That's good stuff for the Bears. Polls again. And
Jason
I believe this is a
Lock
move.
on for a tweet coming up saying that this is
trading Justin.
Yeah, the Bears. This is proof that the Bears don't believe in Justin Fields.
I think this is a pat on the back to Justin Fields.
Dustin Reagan Padilla just texted me, and he believes that the Bears are Super Bowl contenders now too with this signing.
He should. Just lose the mentality of
with the Temple.
We're 1 year away. I've heard that for my whole life. That's where it comes from. This team should win this season, and whatever happens in the playoffs will happen. And even going back to Ivan, that Saints game, I didn't believe in Mitch Trubisky at that point because Mitch didn't believe in himself. And there was anger, finger pointing, and bullshit, despite what the beat guys were telling us. Shane,
Chubb's guy, Mitch, took him into the fucking playoffs, 4th down, and he runs out short of the sticks.
Oh, my God.
Chubb's justification was because the Bears did him dirty, so why would he try for his team in the playoffs? Nice job, Chubbs. Nice job, bud. Put that in the chat.
Listen, you get a good, solid backup quarterback like this. Damn, I was just texting with Zorich talking about this kid, PJ, and it happens because they didn't put a tag on him. Because, like you said, what was he restricted?
Restricted, yeah. They didn't tender him and all. Like the Bears didn't tender Mustafa an offer. They didn't tender Darrington Evans, a few other guys. I know everybody's excited about Mustafa. I don't think it's going to happen, but it doesn't. If they didn't tender them an offer, it makes them an unrestricted free agent.
Jackal, I see.
Yeah, we can't. It's TV feed.
No TV feed stuff.
They can still bring them back on a deal cheaper than the tender, but I don't think that's in play for Mustafa. The Brad Biggs put a name out there a couple of weeks ago. Schweitzer from the Commanders is a guy that the Bears are looking at. as a versatile type backup on the offensive line?
Schweitzer. I'm hoping Orlando Brown.
Who had that up there about the Cubs? Who was that dude?
Shannon Green.
Shannon Green. You
here every
waited your
year.
whole life. Your grandfather did. Your great grandfather. Your great great grandfather. Your great 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 grandfather. What was it? 108 years. You guys waited.
Yeah.
108, 107.
I can't do it, man. I'm tired.
Also, Red Sox.
I'm
fan.
tired of the losing. And I believe, honestly, in all honesty, if they do what I believe they should do in the draft, this draft is deep on the offensive line, inside, outside, and it's deep at the defensive line, inside and outside. Those are huge areas of needs that they haven't really hit.
You and I talked about it today. I mean, at right now, so the Bears have 4 picks in the top 64. So you're looking at offensive tackle, D-line, D-line, D-line as your 4 first picks.
Well, I gotta get
as it is today.
I gotta get a tight end, man. I gotta get a tight end.
Well, they have that option in free agency also.
There's a couple out there.
Dalton Schultz I said to Shane, would make me so happy today.
I got the list right here.
That came across the waiver wire, the transaction wire, rather. Gesicki would not disappoint me here. As Shane said, he'd be the perfect complement outside of Komet.
Waldman, not a fan of Gesicki.
I know. Would you be upset if they got Gesicki?
No.
No, either would I.
No. I would prefer Schultz myself.
Me too.
Yep.
I'm totally with you. Schultz would just make me happy tonight. Is there a chance Robert Tonyan with Getsy?
He's probably
or does he go to Jets?
The Jets.
Yeah, he's going to the Jets, right?
Mercedes Lewis is going to the Jets. I haven't heard that he wants Tonyan.
One's going to flog him and the other one's going to drive his car, so it doesn't matter.
Foster Moreau was
yes. Sign me up all day long. Yep. Foster Moreau, Dalton Schultz, and Gesicki would be my 3 guys that I'd be
Austin Hooper signed today, right? Did I see? No, that's the other dude from Cincy. I always confuse those two.
Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst, thank you.
I think Foster Moreau is still signed with the Raiders, no?
No, he's
a free agent.
He is?
He's a free agent.
I thought I read after the Waller trade, he was their top tight end. I could have been wrong.
Just Irv Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's 24 years old.
Young guy.
Shane, you don't like him?
Nope. He's a typical Alabama tight end, just like O.J. Howard, where everybody falls in love. It's much like Alex Leatherwood. Everything that you want, and none of it matters to him.
Wow. That's a damning.
Yeah, that hurts.
It is. It is.
Shit.
I like the kid coming out of the draft, too.
Yeah, I mean,
he actually came back. He actually came back.
Here?
So tight end, honestly, I would not at all be upset if the Chicago Bears drafted, like I did, Kincaid in the 2nd round and came out with that. I believe it's a huge need.
I don't think he makes it down there where they are. What are they, 53, 54?
Yeah, 53.
Yeah, 53.
Yeah,
53.
I'd be pretty
surprised.
Well,
then what if would you trade back from 9 and take him at 17?
A tight end? Nope, not in this draft. Nope, because I think just like Daniel Jeremiah said, he thinks that you can get starting caliber tight ends all the way down into the 5th round. I can't make a tight. It's just like, listen, there's legitimate corners there that can go at 9. I'm a Christian Gonzalez guy myself. I can't take a fucking corner if they sat at 9. I hope I can't.
Got to talk about this as he answers that.
Yep.
I get what you're saying 100%. So I'll be looking. I'm taking a tight end in round 2 with 2 picks there.
Oh, that's way more justified. I can't.
Can I keep you on this topic real quick before we go to Carter? Because I think it's
Yeah.
interesting with respects to the 9th pick. Hey, PJ, number 11. You're going to have to give it up, buddy. But double ones. Hey.
Mooney.
But, yeah. But do you think that oh, shit, you just made me lose my train of thought. But with respects to the 9 pick.
Tight end, 9th pick.
Yeah. Do you think Poles is still trying to trade down? And with that being said, would you like him to do that? Or would you really like to try to stay in that top 10 and get probably the last of the, probably the top guys in the draft? They say like the top 10 picks is, anything outside of that, it's interchangeable after 11
well, if you
to
stay,
31.
you're talking if you stay at 9?
Yeah. Would you like to do that?
You want to stay at 9 and trade
you
back.
have a legit well, at 9, you have a legitimate shot to take you have a pretty good shot of taking your number 1 offensive tackle on your board. My top offensive tackle is Paris Johnson. I know a lot of people love Skoronski, but I have Paris Johnson up there. So you could have your pick. I mean, you do have to worry about teams like Vegas in front of you, whatever happens with them. But honestly, at 9, I know Phil has Brzee there as one of his top guys at 9.
Tell him you're giving away my trade secret.
Oh, but I didn't tell what number he was. I wouldn't be able to do it there myself. Okay. I'm a Brzee fan. For me, the one guy that I would take at 9, yes, and he is still raw on the defensive line. I don't think it's Van Ness. I'm a Van Ness guy. He's got some work to do, but that upside is massive. I mean, I think it's
exciting
talking about a guy that's going to be paying at 290 or 300 pounds.
I'm on board with everything.
Okay.
Shane. I love Van Ness. In fact, I took Van Ness at 9 in our pressure. What do we call it? Random mock. We weren't even planning it, but
I would puke in my lap. I would puke in my lap if they took him at number 9. I'd puke in my lap if they took him at 19. Yeah,
That's
fucking way.
Drafting Mike Mamula again. How good he.
Good pull.
But I'm going to quote. Phil? I'm quoting the GM for you, Chris.
Yeah.
We have 7 to 8 blue chippers in this draft that we believe. In fact, he even shared, to his credit, that we feel comfortable being at 9 because we know with the quarterbacks pushing down basically what Shane and I and Cars.
What's critical about that, though, Phil, is in his, what did he say, 7 blue
7
chips?
to 8, he said.
That included quarterbacks.
Did it?
That wasn't beyond quarterbacks. Yeah, so if they were high on Bryce Young or they were high on CJ, let's just say that Justin Fields was not here, they're going to have one of those guys.
Right, they would have had
they're included. So I would say that there's probably 1, if not 2 quarterbacks. So then that's pushing you back to 5 if the number is 7.
7 to 8. So let's give him 6.
Yep.
So there you're in it then. They're in it. I will answer this as I've watched this draft since I was in 3rd grade. And never does it go the way we think it's going to go. I don't think anyone's ever picked it. Go ahead.
Orlando Brown Jr. has just signed a 4-year contract for $64 million, completely front-loaded, $31 million signing bonus with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh my God!
I just read it. Yep, 31 million guaranteed.
So Skoronski, Paris Johnson,
largest ever for an offensive lineman.
Wow.
How many years?
4-year deal. Wow. 4 years, $64 million. It's completely front loaded. Yep. The deal includes an over $31 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
Ford.
Yeah, so Orlando Brown started out protecting Lamar Jackson, then Patrick Mahomes, and now he protects Joe Burrow.
And they'll put him at left tackle.
So that means what? Leo Collins has gone over there, and
they run the outside zone over there. I don't know if he'll fit that scheme, but
yes, Phil, can we do a PSA real quick for people? Just you guys don't have to text Phil and I and ask if we're getting along. Okay, we do this. It's fine. There's no ill will.
You
there's
crackhead.
no. Yeah, there's no.
There's no Nostradamus.
Yeah, and
Cleo.
I told you so.
Yeah. It sounded like I called out Cool Kennedy. I love Cool Kennedy, but I didn't agree with his.
We break balls.
Running take. Yeah, so
and we don't have to.
Don't take any of it personal. Yeah, exactly.
And again, people don't have to agree with Shane or hate Shane or me. I don't care. Thank you for watching. That's all I can say to you. Thank
Greg
you.
Gabriel says, I don't think PJ Walker has been signed to be the number 2 quarterback. I think Bears' plans are to have him at number 3 with Trevor
Let's put
Siemian.
him at number 3.
On the roster.
Shut the fuck up.
What kind of take is that
This
right
is
now?
the Dustin Reagan wait till next year. How are you defining who he is? He hasn't even taken a rep. I hate that stuff. I'll say this. PJ Walker has more to offer than Trevor Siemian does. And thus, you want to hope that he's your backup because he's a competitor and wants to be in there. And I hope that rule comes back, which I wanted to talk about. I know Detroit's petitioning to bring the 3 quarterback rule back because this whole game day.
It should be.
It totally should be.
I don't know if you can have a 53-man roster. Why can't
Exactly.
all 53 just fucking dress? I don't.
Just dress them all. I've never understood the nerd equation of advantage. This is fucking 2023. This isn't 1940 with Sid Luckman that you're getting an advantage. It's no longer that. You have fucking 14 people on the practice squad now. Dress everybody on the 53. Dress everybody on the 53, for fuck's sake. And just for clarity, for some of you that don't know what I'm talking about, there used to be a rule that the 3rd quarterback was not considered in a number in the active inactives, that he was there as an emergency. So if the game sees 2 quarterbacks go down, you're not having to put Marty fucking Booker under center or David Montgomery in the pack, whatever it is. You have a quarterback that's prepared as a professional, and guess what? It's just smart. I hope that rule passes. But
I'm looking up
Orlando Brown, my dream of Orlando Brown goes out tonight.
He's gonna play left
John
tackle.
Kaminsky signed back with the fucking Lions, and so did my boy Demo. So the Lions and Bengals, all these fucking cats. At least we got one cat from Carolina, right? Claudio, your boy,
That sounds
DJ.
like
Boy, been high on
the
him for a
Bengals
while.
were allowed to play left tackle, and that was the sticking point to him going to Cincinnati. Is what
That was
Garofalo's
smart
reporting.
on there.
Yeah,
That's smart. Because honestly, if you watch tape, he did play left tackle for the Super Bowl champions. Like, it just baffles me.
He's won 2 Super Bowls. Or no, he signed the year after because they brought him. He was part of the revamping.
Been only offensive line tackle to be named to the All-Pro team 4 years in a row.
Not all pro. Not all pro.
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well,
As a first teamer. As a first team.
Yeah, I know, but there's a pretty big difference between all pro and Pro Bowl.
Well, how many All-Pros does he have, I wonder?
0.
He's got none with the writers. Fucking writers. What do I think about Carter? I'm assuming you're talking about Jalen Carter. And if you aren't a patron, we talked about this since the inception. We questioned Jalen Carter's effort on tape. You had to be concerned. There was so much high-end talent, but the concern, and then to watch the film today with what I looked at as questioning whether he was sober or not while he was going through those workouts, it is a travesty at this point. On top of the pending criminal investigation, he is undraftable by the Chicago Bears. I'll put that right now.
You can't touch him. And I know people are going to be saying, "Oh, what if you trade down?" And no, some of those clips, Phil, that I sent you today, and I know other people have seen them. It's alarming that you are that. He didn't give a fuck. The way that he couldn't even finish his positional drills. He had gained 9 pounds in 2 weeks from the combine. Just that, I mean, this kid had everything going for him. If the Bears couldn't have consummated a deal and none of this off the field stuff was going on, he would have been in consideration for them. I think he was, before this stuff today, I think he was in consideration for them still probably at number 9 if he dropped. But it's sad. I mean, this kid is pissing it all away.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
I think his team would help him, man. Like,
It's
how
a
do you show up so
terrible
much
situation.
overweight like that? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Well,
Yeah.
his agent, whoever his agent is, and I don't know if it's
Same one as Roquan, or
I look it up. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
coulda did that
Rosenhaus.
lazy.
But
Brown wasn't a fit for the Bears. Funny. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
we showed you why he was.
We've showed you why he
Athlete.
was. I don't know what you're looking at if you think that Orlando Brown couldn't fit what the Bears are and want to be. It's disappointing. Tank Bigsby out of Auburn. I like him.
Yeah.
He's a straight line guy, one cut back with speed, but I have other guys that I prefer over Bigsby, but I like the kid. I wouldn't be disappointed if we got him. He plays with pride behind his pads. I like that football player. The Orlando Brown stuff just, it's unbelievable. But I was hoping that's where they were going to invest.
Yeah. Well, and this is listen.
We'll
I'm
talk
not-
about Tevin Jenkins. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just
You
saying.
think there's a plan here.
Talking about before we move off of
Jalen
Orlando
Carter?
Brown.
Oh, Orlando.
Well, Orlando Brown real quick. Don't forget that Ryan Poles was directly involved with them acquiring him and breaking him down, but he was also with him in Kansas City. So if you're going to look at the large scope, he may know things that the general public don't know about that cause concern. You know, if you're going to be paying this kid a massive contract like this, that give them red flags, and that's part of your job when you're a general manager. Let's not forget, Kansas City just let him walk.
And they signed the kid from the Jaguars to replace him at left
4
tackle.
for 80.
And they're going to get one in a trade.
Hector, are you talking about Jalen Carter? Because the issues that we had with Carter is if he loved football.
If you love
I would
football, why are
totally
you
give him-
showing? Well, if you love football, why are you showing up to the biggest job interview of your life, overweight, and you can't
Maybe
finish
not
your
sober.
position drills?
And maybe not sober. That to me tells me you don't give a shit. And that's a big no. I wouldn't take him if he, as talented as he is, I wouldn't even risk it.
I didn't
could
see
find
this.
another guy.
What do they think? He was drunk?
Oh my God, it's so bad.
I just
I
think
didn't-
that he just.
Watch
yeah,
it. Looked a little
I'm
looks
not.
slow.
Do you have
But it just
I'm-
looks lethargic. It's
Look
but
it up.
it's
I got it.
NFL Network coverage. Don't play it.
Is it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was some Twitter
No.
stream.
That's what I thought.
No.
No?
He just looks. He's in full blown. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be here mode. Yeah, it's. It's not a good look at all.
I think lunatic is a lunatic. What tape are you fucking talking about? He got destroyed consistently. We showed you a play where he just took Hargrave, who just signed a huge deal with San Francisco, and drove him 8 yards down the fucking football field. Listen, the tape never lies. If he sucked, I would be the first one to tell you. That's just dumb.
Yeah,
I don't think the Bengals are paying that much money.
Yeah,
and not watching the tape. They're not watching the tape. They're just like, oh,
$64 million. He's
looks
slow.
like he's good.
He stinks.
I'm not smart.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a 1-year deal for PJ Walker. It's a
two-year
contract.
deal, up to $5 million.
I said that.
No, somebody on
2-year
Twitter
deal.
was reporting
Yeah.
it as a 1-year deal. Yeah.
And that would go against Gabriel's thinking anyway. Because if you're giving him
I fucked your mom.
you're
Here's,
giving him a 2-year deal.
There they are.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
See, Mooney was there.
That's
Claudio.
like touchdowns to me.
Mooney.
Damn, Claypool's
Mooney.
a big motherfucker, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Big maple tree, whatever the motherfucker.
That might be
Darnell Mooney looking like Bryce Young, man. There's one guy I would never, ever believe that he would be as fucking tough,
fucking dog,
and outstanding as Darnell Mooney. And we could see an extension for him coming up too with some of this money.
Oh yeah, no, I think you'll see. I don't think Chase Claypool's not getting not getting an extension. They're gonna obviously wait on him.
I think that's what they call him. I honestly think that's his nickname.
Are you serious?
When he was
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yep.
I think he named himself that though. I don't know.
Okay, I've never called him that fucking.
Claypool?
That's terrible.
Yeah, Claypool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mapletron.
Phil, everyone watches tape. Yeah,
You watch
everyone,
it doesn't mean you know what you're watching.
Exactly. Everyone.
Why did
watches-
everybody want him then? Like, I'm confused. Like,
No, everyone.
Yeah, Baltimore
everyone-
watched tape and took him in the 3rd round. Kansas City watched tape and traded a first and multiple premium picks for him.
A team that just lost in the championship.
Cincinnati watched tape and they just gave him
Who
a massive
desperately needs
contract.
some protection for Burrow, and that's who they
Oh,
went and got.
Let's. A guy that we worry about his legs and is an outstanding quarterback. Let's sign a guy where we have to worry about it left.
He's got to be standing.
Said nobody.
He's
Said
taking
nobody.
lineman.
Go away. Take that to Claudio's Mbappe league because it doesn't work in football. I'll tell
He's
you
fast
that.
though, Phil.
Keeping a World Cup.
I'm just
That's
keeping
right.
it 100.
4 years away, baby.
Drop it in 4 years, baby. Let's do it.
I'm gonna tell you shit you
Gonna
hat
bring
and get the
Claudio
bell
from
up
Canada
here.
on.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see
Are there
a
any free agent
precipitous
offensive linemen
drop.
you guys want?
I think we're gonna see a precipitous drop of Jalen Carter, Shane. Do you see him falling out of the first round because
I
of
think
this?
he's out of the first round.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a listen. There's a lot of NFL teams that do really stupid things, and I just don't know how you reward the kid for showing up like that today. And then he's got all this extra baggage on top of him. Let's be honest. The tragedy that happened with the cars and the racing and the 2 people that got killed, that's awful. If he would have showed up to his pro day, owned up to everything, showed up in shape and went out and played
Absolutely.
and worked out
Wouldn't
like
have mattered.
he's
Wouldn't
able
have
to,
mattered. Yep.
you're not going to dismiss the tragedy that happened. But he lost himself millions today. Millions.
Yep.
I honestly I'll throw this name out there for you guys. Lael Collins.
Yep.
And this kid ended up being clear and free of it. But he had this harboring what would we call it? A warrant out for him. He was in this investigation that he was involved in something he was completely cleared of. This guy undrafted Undrafted
Projected
because
top 10 pick, right?
Yeah, projected. Well, first or second round pick. He ended up going undrafted.
Yeah.
I think there was murder. There was all this stuff that was involved with this guy. Same situation. You know what makes it even worse? What he did today, to Shane's point.
Yeah.
Because this kid could be completely innocent or made a dumb mistake. Listen, we all, me and Shane didn't grow up, or Jackal, with social media back in the day, or Claudio even. Imagine some of the shit we did if we put it on social media. No.
2 days before the draft, the Baton Rouge police officers came and talked to him about a murder investigation.
Fucking Claudio and Ivan are they have their own scuba gear with blunts and weed.
I hope nobody clips that.
Well, Laramie Tunsil dropped all the way. He was the best player in that draft. He dropped, where did he drop to? 15 or 12? Someone took a chance on him. Same with Warren Sapp. And that was just weed. This is a bad look for Jalen Carter. I don't know if
someone said in the chat,
drafted.
if he's there,
third round pick.
The third round, you're taking him?
No. I'm not taking
Still not
I don't think you could risk what you're building here.
Exactly.
You've already established how you. No, I don't think you take him
no
at all.
No round.
You don't take
no
him
round.
I think yes. I don't think you. Okay. I don't think you go ahead and risk it, man. I don't. Especially like Phil and Shane had pointed out. You have a situation that's not good for you, with an opportunity in front of you, and you didn't even have. You didn't even have have it in you to go ahead and show up the right way, in shape, possibly sober. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what was going on. Maybe a hangover. Phil was alluding to something like that. Like he didn't look.
Just go over and watch this video of him going through a bag drill. Let me just tell you, he's done 5,000 times in his life.
Ivan, have you seen the video? I'll text it to you right now.
Text
it
to me.
Tell me I'm wrong that this kid isn't like hungover from last night.
You can't fucking.
You should have put a bra on.
You can't take that risk with everything that you're trying to build, with all the momentum that you've already established. Go ahead and draft a guy like that, and then have him pull some shit during training, show up to Chicago, go out one night, end up getting drunk, going 110 on Lakeshore Drive. You know what I mean? Like that shit.
Plus, you don't want it for your locker room. You're 100% right.
Yeah, and
remember what was his name that Vic Fangio spoke for? And he came in here, he's fucking threatening people. They had that call the police. That Alice
critical drinker, which is a funny name with what we're talking about. He's right. How are you going to preach the hits principle to your team, and then you bring in a guy that's got clear issues buying into just effort? Claude, I texted you guys that, you and Ivan. Just
check it out, and then
watch him going.
Chill on what? Wait. What am I chilling on?
What does Ivan have to chill on?
He was
100% right.
So I shouldn't expect him, if he already showed up one way, to do it again.
Exactly. You don't take that chance.
Yeah, what's going on?
What?
Bizarro land? You can't. Ivan's completely right. I'm confused.
Oh.
Why are people telling Ivan he's wrong? Like, what the fuck? What the hell's happening here? Bizarro world.
But Ivan, let me ask you this. Do you think that the Bears are Super Bowl contenders this year?
Look, I think all five of us would love to see him get everything right, be exonerated in whatever happened in Georgia that cost the two people their lives, and be a success story and demonstrate that you can go through some shit, even if he was involved in a thing and they are two misdemeanors.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He might be mentally going through it right now because of everything that's happening. In a month, I mean, you got the draft's in a month. If he loses weight and looks like he gets in better shape, and then I don't know if he'll do another workout or what. I mean,
I would
you
hope
guys
so.
don't think people will reconsider? I mean, the dude was a fucking beast.
Potential number one draft pick to
Yeah,
like a third round pick. I just think the way that the whole Georgia PD, the way the university, they just kind of set him up too. You know, once he was gone, he was leaving to go to the pro. Then, like right before the draft, it's like, all right, we're going to release all this information on the, on the incident. It's all the timing was set. It's just, it just didn't. It just doesn't look good all around for 2 misdemeanors. I mean, he lied to the police and everything, but to show up today the way you could have,
I saw it. It looks very fucking lazy.
But it
looks
it's
like
one clip.
It looks
Though.
like
Was he consistently doing that?
Yeah, I need to see more. I need to see more. But it looked that one.
Oh,
clip
no,
I saw,
that was.
It looks like he's just.
Yeah, that was the one that I sent you.
He's literally is just like sliding through the bags. It looks.
Claude,
like.
he wouldn't even finish his positional drills. He just
got tired and winded.
He just
quit.
He just walked.
Yeah, he wasn't. You know how
Yeah.
they do. You know how DNs do. Our linemen do drills. They're banging those giant. Pads. Like body.
Remember when Angelo got to the 35th wing and he didn't have it in him, but he powered through the next 14.
Yeah, it's like that. He just there was none of that. He just slopped through it.
What
Yeah,
Lance Briggs
Alex,
did
it's one
was
clip.
already.
We've seen the entire thing.
We
Everybody in
watched
the NFL that was there said it was pathetic and awful.
It was on the NFL
display.
Network live.
Yeah.
And you saw it. You saw him quit. You saw him winded. You saw it looked like he was from the previous night hungover. That's what I was looking for. I don't know why that was, because I really don't drink. He was hungover, and it showed in his performance. And listen, I'll just say this. You don't win with potential. Period. My father's preached that my whole life.
Yeah,
you don't win with potential.
Juwan Taylor signed in day one.
Yep,
he signed with the Chiefs.
The kid from Northwestern that blew up the combine and tested well. Of course, he's going to look great again in a setting where he's wearing his shorts and working out. His tape is average. It's good. He's like, I don't know. I think he's a 3 tech and they play him at end a lot, but that's a kid. I'm not taking him at 9 at a Bari. Just to answer that question,
Hector. That was old
a month
news.
ago.
That was not a month ago. It was like last week, or might even have been. Yeah, it was definitely last week. That wasn't from today.
I'm just saying the difference between Lance Briggs' situation that Logan was bringing up and bad guy. Yeah, it's fine. But when you're at the most important job interview of your life and you're like that, what does that say about your potential to be on the job? And before you go crazy on talent, let me ask you this. If you own a business and someone comes in there and they're lackadaisical in the job interview, despite what your cousin told you, how great they are with handiwork or they're a great barber or whatever you do, are you going to hire that person to represent your job and your business and take a huge multi-million-dollar risk on them? It's just
now,
dumb.
real quick, just to update everybody on free agency, shit gets crazy. It was reported earlier in the day that the Philadelphia Eagles had released or were releasing Darius Slay. Adam Schefter reporting the Eagles never officially released Slay with today's cut downs, and now one source is telling him the Pro Bowl cornerback is expected to stay with the Eagles. Nothing is final yet, but the way that it's looking, a new deal is in the works. And there was talk that the Bears were involved in, looking around Darius Slay. And I understand, Phil and I were talking about it. Phil was saying that it would be a great signing. And I understand the leadership aspect of it, but for the money that he's going to command at 32 years old, I just don't understand I don't see the fit here with this team. I mean, if you're a corner away, I get it. To me, it never made any sense for the type of money that he's going to command, a 32-year-old corner.
Nope.
I can't go there.
We did sign some people though. And
yeah, Jack Kane's breaking some news. The Bears signed PJ Walker
to a 1-year deal.
Jack Kane 2 minutes behind bullets on that one.
That's great.
We did sign linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. Very cautiously saying the names because I'm going to be that guy that actually says Edwards by an accident. But Tremaine Edmonds coming in here to Chicago at 6'5". If you saw the lead up to free agency, this is a guy that we had talked about being a huge fit into what Eberflus wants, length, speed. The things that you could do with this guy is it's all over the map because he has that athleticism, that speed, and that length and height that you look for. This is a huge signing for the Bears, and I'm excited about it. I'm going to be breaking it down for the patrons on our X's with the O's this weekend here.
Dude's a beast, man. I'm excited.
Big guy. I could show you a little bit.
You read his tattoo right there?
What
says
does it
1
say?
year
Super Bowl, baby?
Says 1 year away.
She's right.
You son of a bitch. You.
I put it up there for a reason. So this is what we do on our patron side. Show you a little bit of the tape real quick. One play, Shane. That's it. Here he is playing the mic here versus the Rams. And you're going to see the kind of athleticism and reading ability. So they're running trap. Here he comes, filling the gap. So you could see his instincts on display. The down block doesn't fool him. He comes back to the inside and sees it completely. Here he is, and this is where he's going to be super excellent, Shane. This guy's going to be running that dig. He's so deep and tall. He takes that away, and of course they find that.
His length gives them the ability to be even deeper. You know what I mean? Because 6'5", it's crazy.
Look at him. So now he's covering the curl and the dig, and that's the kind of difference that someone is going to make in your defense because of their size, length, athleticism, and speed. And obviously, I got about 16 more minutes of tape and stuff that we're going to be breaking down. If you're not a patron, get over there, sign up, become a patron for the film study and the review of each and every. Wait till you see the Nate Davis stuff. I mean, I'm excited.
I told Phil we talked about it yesterday. You know, he's like, "Well, who's your favorite signing so far?" And I'm a huge Edmonds fan, but overall, Nate. I said to Phil, I'm like, Nate Davis. He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's my favorite signing." And then Phil started diving into a little bit of the tape, and he's like, "This motherfucker."
This guy is something.
Even if you don't care to watch tape, watching this guy, he's gonna. He gives zero fucks.
Listen, go Fields. What they're saying is not that he's not going to be drafted by anybody. We were saying that they don't think that we, the Bears, should be drafting him because of this, because of the hits philosophy, because of what we're trying to do, the culture. So stop trying to twist fucking
$100.
We all want to see him be successful.
$100, Vincent. Who the fuck's that? Got that kind of money?
I know.
Fucking money bags over there. Vincent,
like 4 years of patron.
Jesus
Christ.
Go Fields 1. Is that Mikey? Shane,
young kid who just
that's Mikey. I guarantee that's Mikey. Go Fields 1.
Oh shit.
Man. It's amazing. I think Claudio, you've won the award tonight for smartest guy.
Oh shit.
You just said it again.
About this though, I think it's important.
I think he could play either or.
Oh, he could play either, but where do you think?
I think they're going to put him at right guard and move Tevin to right tackle.
Me too.
And I've said this for the last, I don't know how long. And there might be some truth to Ryan Poles testing the professionalism of Tevin Jenkins and see how far you could stretch him. And if they're up to the challenge of playing guard and he passed that test and now you put him where he wants to play, that could be totally true. The reality is I know Tevin Jenkins could play tackle, left or right.
Well, talk about how it could be better for him anyway, Phil, health-wise. He's a guy that has not stayed healthy.
Playing outside, playing inside is the terror dome. And I'm sure this dude, Mohammed Elmi, has never played a down of football in his life. So he wouldn't know this. So I want to talk to you, Mohammed, specifically, because I don't know any network or any people that work harder than Shane and myself at breaking down the truth in tape and having strong, honest opinions and never a narrative. So when I look at this situation of offensive tackle, instead of being in the terror dome where you're having defensive ends, linebackers blitzing, delayed blitz, and you got to bend your back. And if you're a bigger man, get low and get that contact on you and hurt. You can get hurt a lot easier, especially when you're taller. So to play outside where you're more one-on-one and you have to be more athletic, these things fit him. And I think that'll be a benefit to him, Tevin, that is, and that injury bug that we saw him, because it's very difficult to play inside as a taller, bigger man. You see a lot of injuries in the back. You get beat up in there. And Nate,
what's the rumor? I don't know. What the rumor is, Jerome.
Yes, thank you. This guy, Nate Davis, is already a squatty body. This guy can go inside and just, I mean, the movement skills and the power he packs. I mean, I know people are going to be critical, but I'm going to show you some pass pros where he's just technically just tremendous. And then the next play, you know, he gets his foot off balance. He played at Charlotte, has worked his ass off, and I really believe it's a really great signing for the Chicago Bears, this kid, Nate Davis. I think a lot of Bears fans are going to go and love him. And if you follow the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think there's vindication to what it is we saw with James Daniels as he played stupendous over there with the Steelers. This right here is a true natural guard. And the way he does the inside zone, outside zone, and trap. I mean, this guy traps a fucking defensive tackle and just looks to bury his ass. This is a mean dude. I just want everybody to know that you get to the point of moving Tevin Jenkins. Listen, I heard that Braxton Jones is playing offensive tackle drill and working out with Olin Kreutz. Shane. So Olin will be on his ass about getting that strength in the lower half. So we know we got some things right now. There's 3 pieces on there. Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, and now you got Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg is the real deal right here.
And
regulate.
And
I believe in Dieter
offensive
Eisen.
tackle is 100% in play.
Mm-hmm.
At 9.
At 9.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's probably, I mean,
I like the kid.
Listen, can Dieter start at left guard? Go pop in the Buffalo Bills tape when he goes in and plays left guard.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking absolutely handled the Bills. And it's unfortunate, you know, a lot of people are going to go back to that Detroit game when he gets thrust in there at the right side. And he gets, I already broke that stuff down to show you some of this stuff. And no one's a perfect prospect, but I believe in Dieter, and so do they. Clearly,
Yeah,
they brought him back. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him back. Just like they let Mustafa sit out.
So Jeremy Fowler just said the teams that showed the interest in Orlando Brown in free agency: the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New York Jets, the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's it.
They weren't getting into the bidding war.
Or
they had plenty of money, and maybe Poles doesn't like him.
That can't be discounted. I mean, it can't be.
They have they've mentioned before a specific type of frame that they want their offensive linemen in. We mentioned it with Larry Borum and with Tevin Jenkins about the weight issue. Like, there's a specific size they want their offensive linemen, and they're not really getting away from that.
I thought you were talking about our patron that we're slacking. That's what I thought Muhammad was talking about. Because if you were saying that, that's what I had an issue with for transparency. That's what I thought you were, because I was talking about head over to the patron.
How the hell are we slacking on our?
That's what I got fired up with, because he's like, I've been over there. You guys are slacking. So if you're talking like that, being sarcastic in a text, in a chat, is probably
context is
There's no font
especially
for
when
sarcasm.
It's like going into a public forum and saying your business sucks. I'm just kidding. I just told 800 people in the chat via text. It's a dumb decision.
Yeah, probably dumb. So
I fucked your mom.
For $7 a month, we'll fuck your mother.
Oh my God.
Not smart.
Here we go.
Best impression ever.
I take a lot of pride in the work that you put in. Believe me, it takes away from your family. And I know I got Ivan, Shane, myself cutting tape. We got Caden Whitlow and Ron G making graphics and making videos, and Jackal doing shit still. So we're working hard.
Timestamps are coming back.
I might as well do those. I do nothing else though. So.
That's what everybody wants you to do.
I get Phil's projected anger that he doesn't want to give to Shane. He just puts onto me now.
That's
I came on right when I was coming on the air, because the last 3 nights, where the fuck are these timestamps? Where the fuck? Like Dick.
They want the chapters.
They're in here.
The bookmarks, the timestamps, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Gotcha.
So now I say, you know what? I'm going to take a shot at
There'll
it.
be one tonight.
Oh,
all right?
Jesus. Can you?
Who was that?
Back
was on his headset.
Was that Phil again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. That one was real bad. I felt that one in my fucking
I'm giving
spine.
that one to the guy being sarcastic.
Muhammad's mother fell off my fucking desk.
Muhammad's back in my
I
good.
fucked your mom.
I love Muhammad. Dan Payton is going to join up tomorrow. Thank you, Dan.
People are upset that you swore a few times today. Apparently,
We're
you're
going
not
to
allowed
swear
to
a
swear.
lot on this show.
Swear?
Shit, fuck, asshole.
That's
Who
why
was
it
pissed?
says in the beginning.
Yeah.
What does it say? For
Unnatural.
mature audiences only.
You watch this show, we may fuck your mother, is what it says right in the beginning of the show.
There's a disclaimer.
Your mom may be called a cunt.
Yes.
I feel bad for that guy.
Listen, bullets. That was one thing I wanted to talk about too. The last draft pick of the 2019 Bears.
Saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's it.
I still remember sending Phil the update because you remember I used to get the picks tipped off a little bit early. Used to drive Phil. And I'm like, oh, you got your boy. He's like, who? I'm like, they're trading up for Demo. He's like, fuck you. I think that was his exact words to me. Because I believe you and Cars both were, believe it or
Cars
not.
was a fan?
I think he had him as RB1. I'm pretty
Damn,
sure
that doesn't sound like him.
No, I think he was a big Demo fan in the draft.
Well, I don't know why he had to take that shot with this beautiful little girl. He's lucky he put the.
Do I need to play that? Do I need to play that again?
At the end of the
Yeah,
show.
some people might not have seen it in the chat.
Which one?
TDP. I'm sorry for your loss.
But I'm not.
Oh, I don't know if you heard, Jackal.
Does Jerome have like the worst internet ever? Or is he just
Oh my
randomly
God.
talking to himself? And I'm trying to follow who he's talking about or what he's talking about, and it's just so random.
He might be watching
fuck
it
yourself.
not live though. I fucked your mom.
Baker Mayfield to the ball. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, that happened. What this morning?
Yeah, when I was eating my fucking cereal.
The Bears have traded up.
We should give Bullets a spot on the show. Like he has to videotape
He
his
used to
breaking
be at a
news.
place that broke old news.
Yes.
You remember?
He would take that place. That would be great.
Yeah.
It'd be a total spoof on that. So Bullets, from now on, send your videos to Jackal. Actually, probably Ivan, because he'll
What
do
the
shit with
fuck?
it. You're too busy.
Dude,
Planning
yeah,
soccer practice for next
Amen.
fall. Amen. Amen. Yes, Shane's 100% right. Based on how this free agency has gone, I'm that kind of guy that gets upset like with every guy that I wanted. It's like, fuck you, polls. And then I forgive him.
He told you he's going to be selective. Show me teams that have built through free agency. I mean, do we want to do this live on air? I could bring up a fucking list of. So let's go back 5 years. You want me to bring up somebody grab it.
Champion of the offseason?
Well, just bring up the top NFL free agents 2018. And I'll bet you the list is pathetic.
Who has the best internet? It's definitely not Claudio's Dunkin' Donuts.
Jerome, can you get on that? Jerome?
Right here.
I'll get it faster on my phone, I'm sure.
You need a list?
It could have been the Rams were 2 years ago, right?
Oh, wrong one.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me get that off.
Focus on the timestamps. Where's Greg?
Okay.
I'm not smart.
So you want to look at the free agent signings, you said?
Well,
Right
just
here.
the top available free agents
I
from
got 'em right
2018.
2018 free agents. Ready? Top ones. This is a good exercise.
All right.
Oh, Le'Veon Bell.
Myth. DeMarcus Lawrence. Drew Brees.
DeMarcus
Andrew
Lawrence.
Norwell.
Excellent player.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins. Jarvis Landry. Ezekiel Ansah. Honey Badger. LaMarcus Joyner.
Holy
Deion
shit.
Lewis. Jimmy Graham. Star Latulele. EJ Gaines. Nate Soldier. Jermaine
EJ
Johnson.
Gaines.
So Allen Robinson came to the Bears. Sheldon Richardson. All right. So now, but I'm just saying, so
Sammy
we're down to
Watkins.
25. It's
Trey Burton, Bears.
yeah. So can you sort it, Jackal? Go to 2019.
Give me a second here.
I'm just saying anybody can do this. It's a good thing to do. You don't just go to the top 100 and say, all right, we're gonna get the first 10. We're gonna be ready to fucking go. You have to be selective in free agency. It's rare that these work out. Extremely rare.
Was negotiating and what?
If you get a season out of it, it doesn't mean that the next 3 are gonna work.
Bears legend Trey Burton. That's correct.
Yeah. Trey Flowers, Landon
Trey
Collins,
fucking
Trent Brown,
Flowers.
CJ
Whose
Mosley.
ranking are these?
Le'Veon Bell, Anthony Barr, Honey Badger again, Earl Thomas, Bryce Callahan. Everybody was pissed when the Bears lost him. Juwan James, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, both went to Green Bay. Nick Foles, Adrian Amos, Tyrell Williams. So, I mean, on that list, you could put Adrian Amos higher. I mean, he played pretty well for a few years for Green Bay. But it just shows you how it's a minefield at best. You're hoping to step in a pile of shit and not a fucking mine.
Jeepers creepers.
Holy fucking drops tonight.
There wasn't even a chat and a drop.
But the
Golden
point,
Tate, Shane.
Yeah.
That was what year was that?
2019.
2019,
Yeah.
yep.
Holy shit. Golden Tate.
Yep, 2006 Bears, they were all built by free agents, and their team was not sustainable.
Nope. We want sustained success here in Chicago.
What was sustainable on that
They
team?
weren't.
The defense. And it was mainly all drafted.
Well, they did improve the offensive line.
Yeah,
Because
I
you
know, but
got-
I'm
Who was it? Garza, John
Reuben
Tate,
Brown, John Tate.
Reuben Brown.
Yep.
Who was the other one? Was it Fred Miller?
Yeah, Fred
From
Miller.
the
Fred
Rams.
Mhm.
From the
Yeah.
Rams. Holy shit.
Well, he came from the
No,
he come from the
Titans.
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 Yeah.
Titans.
He came from the
That was
Titans.
it.
Yeah.
John Tate came from the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yep.
Yeah, Reuben was the
Brown
Bills.
got cut from the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it's you're gonna have
There's
your
always
hits.
an outlier to your
Yeah,
point.
it's rare, especially nowadays. It's rare for guys. That's what makes a guy like Tremaine Edmonds, who's coming off his best year statistically and tape wise, and he's 24 years old. You're catching him on the upswing. Nate Davis, 26 years old, catching him on the upswing. Those are what you want to earmark in pro free agency, and then invest your dollars there. It doesn't mean that you have to go after every single young guy. There's still guys out there. I mean, Phil, do you want to look at a list and go over it real quick? I know we're getting a little bit late.
These are the offensive linemen that are still available, except for Orlando Brown because he obviously just signed. But I've had this up earlier.
Well, no, because Connor McGovern's gone.
Did he just sign?
No, he signed day one. He signed with the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that sucks. Sports Track needs to do a better job.
Yeah.
Connor McGov. Go on.
So Siamalu, I would be interested in 100%.
They said there was interest there, right?
So the benefit of him is, and I know it's not the best philosophy, you play him at left guard, then you're moving Cody over to center for right now until you get your answer there. Nate Davis at right guard, Tevin Jenkins at right tackle, with Braxton Jones at left tackle. That's my move there. He is a little bit older, but man, there's a lot. Wes Schweitzer is a guy that Brad Biggs has said that the Bears do have interest in, but it's more as a primary backup because he can back up multiple places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Siamola from Oregon State.
Yep. He's got some injury. He's had an injury history. Yes. Yep.
He, my dad's captain coached him at Oregon State.
Okay.
Speaks so highly of him. Donovan Smith, I loved coming out of Penn State, but
they're
he's been
saying
so
that
banged up.
Lyle Collins might be the odd man out in Cincy, so he could be hitting the market.
Going off a knee injury, but
Lyle Collins has been a very good football player in the NFL. This is just offensive line free
I can
agency.
go to, or yeah, what did you like, the whole big board?
Well, that's what I thought you were doing. I could look at the offensive line though, but all positions.
Yeah, all available players.
Oh, they don't rank them, huh?
You could probably rank them.
Bud Dupree to me would be a good signing for the Bears.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He's at that top end of that age.
Yeah,
I like that.
That they have.
Yeah, I like that kid's aggressiveness. Just watching, and again, I'm just finishing up the DeMarcus Walker signing and tape of him, and there's a lot to like about the kid. And he is going to be an interior defensive lineman for the Bears. It's very clear. I know they list him as D end. I'd be surprised. I mean, I could see them moving him out there occasionally, but you could see he's got twitchiness and some craft with his hands inside. So you're going to want to be a patron. Check out DeMarcus Walker, who has signed with the Chicago Bears. 1 year, $21 million. What did he get guaranteed?
16.
60.
So they really believe in that. I mean, I believe that's a belief
Yeah, and that's
starter.
It's not. It sounds like a lot. It's not huge money, unfortunately, in today's market. But
No, but I believe they think he's going to be a starter.
Yeah, he's a guy that has a lot more pressures than Draymond Jones. He had 7 sacks, and he provides you the versatility that he can play. And he's going to Phil. You're 100% correct. He's going to be a 3-tech here.
Yeah,
Walker. A lot of people are looking at him saying, "Oh, he's going to be a defensive end." 100%.
When we watch the tape again, I know Mr. Payton's going to sign. Dan Payton signing up. But anybody that wants to sign up, I know we've had over 45 new patrons in the last week. I can just assure you that we're going to break down these free agents like nobody else. It's not picking a highlight reel. Okay? It is looking at their tape, good, bad, and ugly, and where potential could be.
What? We didn't sign him?
We did sign this guy tonight, quarterback PJ Walker. Yes. Shout out to Caden Winslow, putting the graphics together.
Winslow.
Caden Whitlow.
Oh,
did I say Winslow? Oh, I'm getting tired.
Bears.
Hey, did you guys know that Orlando Brown signed with the Bengals?
No way.
What?
Orlando Brown.
Breaking news.
Good for him.
Shane, since you didn't want the older corner, I know what you feel about this guy.
Oh, my bad.
Oh.
Gardner Johnson.
Oh, yeah. All day. Yeah. I'd kick Gordon outside, and he would be my nickel in the way I'm forward thinking here. And he would be moved to safety next year when Eddie Jackson is gone.
How dare you?
And my 2 safeties would be Gardner Johnson and Jaquan Brisker. I'd be all over him.
It's a good move right there. I like that.
Fits in, what is he, 25, 26 years old?
Mm-hmm.
He's an asshole, and I think that the Bears need some of that on this team. You can't have a team full of choir boys. I'm not saying an asshole off the field. I mean, he's a
shit talker, gets in people's
he's
heads.
Dennis Rodman. If you're a Bulls fan, you hated Dennis Rodman when he played for the Pistons. He'd get under your skin, you'd get pissed off. He came to Chicago, and we're like, yeah, now he's our asshole. So we're gonna support him. But I would 100% be in. Let's be honest, Phil. How important is the nickelback in Eberflus's system? It's right up there with weak side linebacker and 3-tech.
It is because it's part of what it is you want to do philosophically. And when you're playing these zones, they have to be able to tackle and be tough as a nickel. So
Jared Perry breaking some news. Jared forgot to set his clocks to the right time.
We've been saying that.
That's sarcasm. I think that's sarcasm.
Yeah, it's sarcasm.
I think that was sarcasm.
It's hard to read sarcasm in a chat.
It is.
It's the hardest thing ever.
That's where you got to put an emoji with like a rolling with the eyes. Or something.
No, if you look at some of the negative comments in YouTube after a show, I love the ones that are negative, and then it says LOL at the end. Those are my favorite ones.
Yeah.
What a bunch of 2 fucking pussies. You don't even live in Chicago and you're talking about the Bears.
LOL.
LOL. Your kids are ugly. LOL.
Jackal's got fake books. He's retarded. He can't read. LOL.
Listen, I think we've said it all.
He's a free agent.
Yeah.
He's free
25-year-old free agent.
Free agent.
Yep.
What the Bears are doing isn't finished yet. I could tell you that. They obviously pulled one out tonight in signing backup quarterback PJ Walker to the Bears. And I like that signing. I think everybody here did. Whether you like it or not, we'll let you chime in on the chat sarcastically on that as well. But I think it's a good signing for Justin. I like the player. I'm a big fan of Risner, Creighton. I was hoping Risner would be a part of the Bear. Maybe he will be. Siamala too. I think get some linemen in here. We'll see what they do. They certainly went out there first day, and obviously tonight the media department is catching up because they legally can't do it any other way. You got DJ Moore, the wide receiver from the Carolina Panthers, Nate Davis. I cannot wait for you patrons to see the Nate Davis tape, and I can't wait for my father's reactions to Nate Davis. Is going to be pricey.
Speaking of your father being a Patriots fan, do you
Yeah.
have any interest at all in Isaiah Wynn on the offensive line?
My dad.
I mean, there's a lot of. I know there's a lot. Yeah, I know.
Shit in your hat and get the hell off the field.
There's a lot there to dislike. I'm just asking you if you would.
I would have to look at
gamble on
his.
him.
I liked him coming out of the draft.
Georgia, yeah.
Isaiah Wynn.
He's young,
he's
right?
young.
What's he? 26.
I think he's 27. I liked him coming out of the draft, and there's a lot of upside there. But I would have to look at his tape to give an honest opinion. I
He's
know my
26.
dad's like, no, he's not good.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. Isaiah Wynn?
It says 27. 27 bullets.
That spot track's got him at 26.
26 on 101 days.
Listen,
I don't do shit.
Isaiah Wynn coming out of college at Georgia. I liked what he is now. I'd have to look at him. I honestly haven't looked at Isaiah, and that's my truth on that. Because my father made me biased to it, complaining about him every week, like me with Leno, for God's sake. So I can't. Right? I do like the PJ Walker. Sad about Orlando Brown, David Montgomery, and John Kaminsky. But that was my sleeper guy. He ended up re-signing with the Lions. But anyway, free agency isn't done. This year, Dustin Reagan Padilla is just starting. So I'm going to focus on this year and see what this year's Bears do. And if you're a Bears fan, you're going to want to do the same by signing up, following Chris Jackal's chapters, tapeneverlies.com.
No, bookmarks. They should be called book. With all the books behind them, they're bookmarks.
Oh, yes.
All these real books. All
audio,
you fucking assholes.
The bookmark. That's his new nickname. The bookmark. If his name was Mark,
I'm
it would
gonna
be
try
so
any
cool.
harder standing in front of all those
Mark
books.
Jackal.
LOL,
man.
LOL.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ.
Monty's going to make us pay for this.
We don't even know if the Bears offered him. So, anyway.
I imagine they told him, go try to see what you can get and come back to us with what you got.
The
Nope, we're not paying.
tapeneverlies.com is going
They do have video of when Demo brought the video or the contract offer to Ryan Poles. There's video of it right here. Or it's audio.
So you shit in your hat and get the hell off.
Larry Borum going to make the 53, Shane?
Debatable at best.
It's too early to tell. How does Larry take to the offseason? You saw he's lost weight.
It's got to look good for those wedding photos.
Is it a wedding photo weight or is it a football? This is my
It was
crap
the engagement photo. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're getting married, you got to look good for those photos too. So, you got to stay in shape.
Based on how this offseason has gone so far, barring a trade, Laramie Tunsil, anybody, another tackle, somebody. The Bears
London
could be
doesn't
there.
like us. I've been to your wife's mom's house. It's not that fucking nice.
I fucked your mom.
Anybody that puts London in their name, bad.
Come on, mate. I discovered everything, mate.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Dumbest tweets of the week.
That was pretty dumb.
Oh yeah, yes it was.
That was a good drop right there.
What?
I need the. Do you have 36? I'll have 36.
Orlando Brown. It was important to be able to play left tackle and play for a winning team and a winning quarterback. That's what he just said.
That's why he left Kansas City, huh?
I know they didn't win. They
Yeah.
weren't winning enough for him.
Leave
Like I said,
one
he's
winner
blocked.
and go to another winner.
He's blocked for 3 quarterbacks: Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and now Joe Burrow. That's pretty.
Hey, there you go. Yep, I like it. I like it. I like it.
You ain't ever seen a quarterback like that in Notre Dame, Chris.
Joe Montana, bro.
Yeah.
Get it straight.
Yeah. Was Chris even born then?
Yeah, he was. It was his birthday this past week.
It was.
Chris Zorch's birthday. Send Chris Zorch some love on Twitter and Facebook or wherever. Tell him happy birthday, Chris Zorch. Anyway, we've said it all. I got to bounce. So do you. Everybody.
Shout out Tape Never Lies.
Shout outs, Shane. The short and condensed version. What are we doing tonight, Jackal? Since you're coming back.
Oh, timestamp. I put that on 2:51.
There you go. Since Jackal's coming back. And he's
Let me get the book on timestamping over here and what's going on. Hey, so I'll start it off then real quick. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, my son, fuck off. All right, well said. Proceed. All right, a little bit of seriousness for a quick second. I apologize. But tomorrow morning, our little man Cannon, he has surgery scheduled for 10 o'clock. He's got to have his kibbles and bits. He's got something going on down there, and we don't know necessarily what's going on with one of his wonderful huevos rancheros down there. So we need to have, unfortunately, he's got to have a procedure tomorrow. So we won't know the extent until afterwards. But at 10:20, he'll be dealing. So send a little positive love to my man Cannon, and that's my shout out for tonight. And be nice to someone. If you're thinking about him, say hello, reach out, send him a text, smoke signal, whatever. And
smoke signal. Yeah, good luck, man. That's
Thank you.
Never tough.
That. I was getting nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for Shane to drop the idol.
No, I wasn't. No.
That's why I tried to preface it with a little bit of seriousness.
I didn't have the Claudio drop when his daughter went to the concert down in Philly. I didn't have that.
I was getting nervous.
I'm not gonna lie. When he said, I'm like, "What the fuck do you guys do at your house?" Jackal had his stuff.
Yeah, no,
Jesus.
Dude, he was born with it, man, and it was so it's it's gonna go away, and it just never did.
Is it a serious testicle issue though? I mean,
could-
is it kind of not serious?
Is it driving him nuts?
Yes.
Is it driving him nuts?
That's driving all of us nuts. He can't.
I can
it's just
imagine.
uncomfortable, man. He's 20 months old. He can't talk. He's got no way to tell you. So he's like, man, this shit blows, and somebody help me. So he's going tomorrow, and so hopefully it'll be better days ahead after tomorrow. So shout out to my little man Cannon.
Shout out to Cannon.
Man.
Yep.
What a name for a kid. Imagine if he's got a great arm.
Probably a fucking hell of a foot for a soccer player.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's gonna have a hell of an arm. That's all I'm gonna say. He's gonna,
Listen, he can transition from soccer to football.
Maybe he's been kicking too many balls. Maybe that's the problem.
Keeping It World Cup, hosted by Claudio,
Claudio
produced by
and
Jackal.
Jackal.
Produced by Jackal. There you go.
Two guys that drive you
Saturday
nuts.
mornings when the games go off.
We'll have this debate one day. We'll have it one day.
Claudio the barber.
Yes. Shout out to you guys. I missed you guys last week, but I had to go do my thing, my little side hustle. But shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat, making us laugh, putting out some. And whoever, I don't know who started the whole we're an off season away. I forget who that was, but shout out to you because that was like a whole fucking thing. Like that's a big bookmark right there.
He's a very nice dick that any woman would love.
Love that drop. So yeah, that's it. We'll move on to the
Good
next.
job, Claudio.
Jordan's-
Ivan Vargas. I like this. Who came up with this camera
This is a
angle?
little shout out.
Somebody from
Stage.
StreamYard, I guess. But anyway,
Someone set it up tonight. Good job.
shout out to
brother.
all you guys. Love you guys. Love everybody in the chat. The chat was on fire tonight. We had a bunch of people watching.
Yeah.
It was a great show. Love the debates. Debates were on fire. I guess some people just can't handle it, and they just got to go ahead and cry about it. Whatever. Go to your safe space. That's fine. But here we're all friends, and we like to debate about our favorite team, the Bears. So we're gonna keep it 100 here. That's what we do. That's the name of the show for a reason. And yeah, have a good week. We'll see you guys later.
I forgot. I'm on
Ivan
the
Vargas.
camera on the side. You can see me.
Ivan Vargas.
Did Claudio go already? Why are you making me go?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't.
Sure now.
I want to shout out.
Claudio.
I want to shout out the zoo and this monkey for making me laugh every time.
Oh my God.
Who turned it off? You gotta let him finish.
Let him finish. You gotta let him finish.
He just whacked it. Stop, right? Come on. Yeah. It doesn't even look real.
Claudio's muted. Where did you find that?
Oh my God. Only you, Shane. Find
I was what?
He's a very nice dick that any woman would love.
Hila rolls over and Ben's like, what the fuck are you laughing at? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I can't fucking stop. You guys see this video. It's so perfect. Oh. Oh, that's my shout out. That's my mic drop.
I think the one is perfect.
So that's. I think this. I'll have to shorten that. This might be a staple on this.
Yeah, you can't. We need to put a
It's
different
one.
image up. You need to put a different image up because that will be the last image that shows, right?
No, it's
If
right
it's-
at the end before we hit end broadcast.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
it's
thank
one, that's perfect for a nice
Okay,
drop.
could you imagine that's the last image?
Oh no! Don't make that the last image. Don't make. Logan, there's so many ways to bust your balls.
What the fuck? Oh my God. Why is that so funny?
Oh, man. What a night. Well,
I'm
we
gonna
debated
remove
it
it from
all.
Hey, how the Bears gonna do next year?
I'm gonna remove it from the brand because we'll never end the fucking show.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Shout out to all of you fans that make this show as great and better than it is. He's locked and loaded. There's so many jokes there with this drop to end the show. But shout out to the guys tonight, Claudio, Ivan, and Jackal. for being on all night with us. We had a great show. Shout out to anybody that plays bingo. Shout out to Ronnie Rizzle in the chat and Ben Ricketts right on time. Jeepers Creepers, all of you guys. And where was my guy, Muhammad? Shout out to you for getting me fired up.
That's sarcasm.
And Dustin Rangan Padilla. Shout out to Muhammad sarcastically. Oh, it was a great night. Chicago Bears. Thank you. Shout out to my son Tate for getting put on the spot and stepping up in his truth and sharing his first take of scouting. It's going to be interesting how excited he is about the draft now. It's really great to see. Same grade I was in, Jackal, 3rd grade. He's all excited about the Bears draft now. And listen, you guys are great. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for all the producers. Shout out to you, Cherie. I love you. And can't wait to see you back here on Wednesday nights with us. And we'll see you next week.
If I had that drop up there, I would have played it right there, Cherie.
Don't. Next week, Shane, a family reunion, right?
Yes.
Family reunion. Keeping it 100 next week. We got from Locked On Bears.
Yeah.
Former colleague of Shane and I returns for the first time.
He's set a Rooney once again. Yeah.
He's all set a Rooney.
We might have to reach out to Jose Cotto and surprise Lauren.
Bring him in.
All 4 of us. All 4 of us.
This is your life, Lauren. Is he still with that girl?
I have no idea. I don't know.
That'll be one question.
Lauren's a pretty busy dude. He travels all around. So yeah, he's
gonna be
living
upset?
life.
Good hair.
I need a fuck PFF t-shirt stat. I'm gonna wear it that night.
We're gonna ask him about the true Peter Bukowski.
The true Peter Bukowski. I love you guys. We'll see you next week on the best Bears show on the planet, bar none. It's the tape never lies. Sign up, become a patron. Draft Mob. We're going to be breaking down McDonald, the defensive end from Iowa State, and Notre Dame defensive end Isaiah Foskey. That's coming up. Is that going to be tomorrow night, Shane? Are you busy tomorrow? I'm going to ask you. Put you on the spot.
Going to tell you to shit in your hat and get those out.
Thanks, Coach. I haven't asked the boss. Yeah, whatever works. I can make work.
X's with the O's is going to be, I believe, Sunday, breaking down the free agents, or 2 or 3 at least. So let me know. I'll let them know. We'll see you next week. Keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Playmaking standpoint from